Damn.
Yo.
You're
Back in here. Damn, my face look wild sleepy, bro. Like, I did just wake up. I ain't gonna hold you.
my eye like super red right now, but you can't tell. It's a good thing I got that.
Shit looking like New York City clouds.
Excuse me, Drew.
Oh, we got one early. We got one.
We didn't start.
I didn't properly hear you. That's what I was saying.
What you mean we didn't start?
You got to say the rules before you start. Come on.
No, this ain't the first time we doing it. We know the rules.
It's not everything on every show.
First of all, ain't Ace just explain all the rules backstage?
I did. I said you can't curse, so you gotta take a shot. Huh?
To the people listening, that's when it starts. Come on, bro.
Yo, you being the coy right now, my boy.
The
people being the coy right now, my boy. You being the let's ask the people. Yo, Drew curse, so he had to take a shot, man. Put him on in the chat.
I listening to these subscribers. You know they.
You just said we gotta wait for the people to know, and then you want to talk about you in this.
Yeah, but they don't got my best interest at heart. They trying to get me drizz so they can laugh at me.
That's crazy.
Listen, man. Yeah, take that shot. I don't know what that was a shot of, but hopefully it was that. You know what I mean?
I see ones in the chat, man. That's what I'm gonna say. What up, Eugene? What's good?
Listen, man, we back up in here. We ain't been back up in here since that last live stream, which got a little. I mean, damn, my fault. Hold on. Where's the technicality at? We ain't started yet. We ain't introduced the show. Like,
yeah. All I know is when I cursed my first time, I'm not taking no shot because y'all both had a pass, so I'm taking my pass too. Bro.
All right, so let the people know so it can start now.
What up, Mike? Yo, if me, matter of fact, anybody on the panel curse, I want y'all to point them out so they could take that shot. All right, we taking shots if anybody curse or say the N-word. Starting now.
That's
now it's legit. You said start.
You know you got to get the words. You got to get all your curses out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And you didn't say starting now in the other room. I can't even say
in the back. You're right. I'm about to say that shit. Ooh, I said I ain't say the word. I ain't say the word. I ain't say the word.
I'm gonna let him live because we all took one. But E, how was your day, man?
Oh man, my day. Hey man, I've been back on the ground, man. I'm back at work. I ain't been back at work since February, bro. That's crazy. Like, I've been out of work since February, but slowly getting back into the grind of working again. Getting out the house. Unfortunately, this was a bad week to get out the house, like, because you got New York City looking like a hookah. You got New York City looking like a hookah lounge, like, you know what I'm saying? So, if y'all understand what's going on right now, at least in the New York City tri-state area, man, we got this forest fire coming from Canada, giving New York City the worst air quality in the world. It was like looking like people sprayed Cheeto dust in the air. Like, it was kind of bad out here, man. Like, toxic. They said the index reader was like, the air quality index was like 400, which is damn near like toxic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it was pretty bad out here in these New York City streets, man. So in Jersey and just any other tri-state, areas on the East Coast. So yeah, just been working, man. Just working, getting back into the gym. You know what I mean? Back on my gym flex. You know what I mean? I was gonna say something else, but I caught myself. But I'm dieting. You know what I mean? I feel good. I feel good about life. I feel good about myself, man. What about you, Ace? How your day was?
My day was smooth. You know what I mean? I was out here on the front lines. You know how high job got it. It's just working. Yeah, now I'm here with the people, man. I ain't had nothing eventful happen today. I think, regular day. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, same old. Work, being a dad, and then. But I will say, it's two things that does pop in my mind, and Eli brought it up to how New York City is looking, and my Umar thinking cap is on, and they trying to blind us. Something is going on up in them skies. I just need one of y'all to go up there to check and try to speak for us.
Wonder who?
Well, I don't know. Somebody go up there.
Oh, okay. I think you're talking about one of us.
First of all, ain't nobody going up there. They sending fighter jets as soon as somebody up in the sky. Like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't playing no games.
I don't find that suspicious, man.
What up, ladies?
It's in Jersey now. Jersey got wildfires. Yeah,
the wildfires is in Jersey.
Yeah, it's in Jersey now. They don't find that suspicious. I got the videos. I'm gonna send it to y'all, man.
That's madness going out here in these streets, man.
I don't believe everything you see, though, man.
I mean, you could say that, but Zion got porn stars pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Don't believe everything I see. He can't play on the court, but he playing in the sheets. Come on, my man.
I mean, it don't require you to be fully healthy to play in the sheets. You know what I mean?
He's saying that his legs don't work, but the reason why he weak in the knees because he stay in the sheets. Come on, my boy.
Yeah, he gonna hold you Zion taking L's. Man, we have to talk about that on another live stream. But listen, man, we got a great live stream lined up. We got some great panelists lined up. We got some great topics, man. I'm pretty sure y'all seen this video that's been making its way around the internets, the TikToks, the Instagrams. Obviously, we're gonna talk about that. We got some other topics that we're gonna discuss as well. So right now, I'm gonna bring some of our guests on, let them introduce themselves. Again, if y'all want to support us, y'all could join the membership. Y'all see the link is pinned right there. Man, we got a lot of behind the scenes footage, early access to a lot of the episodes before even the regular subscribers get them. If y'all want to cop the merch, Dailyrapupcrew.co. Speaking of which, let me put that banner up real quick, man.
And shout out to Green Wonderland. I don't know if that's what that's supposed to be. That X there, but yeah. And Michael McCoke, Lady Navoa.
Yeah, make sure y'all follow Ace and Jew on IG, man. You know what I mean? Ace the GOAT on IG and podcast_Jew on IG, man. Show them some love, man. They trying to get their followers up, man. Like, you know what I mean? So
I'm about to make a Facebook.
You say you about to make a Facebook? People still be on Facebook. I ain't gonna hold you. People definitely still be on Facebook. Like, I'm not really, one of them, but people.
Put in the chat if you on Facebook still, man. I need to see.
We live on Facebook right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
People be telling me that they be seeing
if you live with us for Facebook, then
I ain't say all of that. Yeah, I ain't say all of that. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, man. So like I said, I'm gonna start introducing let the guests introduce themselves, and then we're gonna get straight into these topics. So,
like I said, Facebook dead. Zeesh, what's good?
Hey guys, what's up? Hi, live. Good night, everybody.
Hey, what up?
How you doing? Let the folks real quick know where they go. What's your name and where they can follow you?
My name's Kazeesh. You can follow me on Instagram at Kazeesh. That's KEZEESH. That's me.
And y'all don't know, she's an alumni of Dailyrapupcrew. She was definitely on one of the episodes holding it down. So make sure y'all go check that episode out. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
On top of my head.
Hey y'all.
Yo, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
We doing good. You can let the folks know your name and where they can follow you at.
Well, my name is Tiara Jacolia. You can find me on Instagram at Tiara_holiday with 2 L's.
Okay.
Hey everyone.
What's good, Nikki? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing tonight?
We are doing pretty good. You can let the folks know where they can follow you at.
Yeah, I think I have it here, but my IG is Nikki McDonald _25.
Oh yeah, you do got it there. You're right.
Yeah, no worries.
Appreciate y'all. Last but not least, I think we got one more person, but they're gonna probably rejoin. Yo, Jay, what's goody?
What's good with y'all? Jay Stanza from Atlanta. IG Jay Stanza _ TikTok Weatherman _J. You know what's up.
Atlanta. Okay. Let me ask you a question, man. What's the dating scene looking like in Atlanta, man? Because I've been hearing people talking bad about it, like they saying it's trash. Like, you know what I mean, what's your take on the dating scene in Atlanta right now?
It's crazy. It's not regular. It's definitely weird. It's definitely not for somebody who broke, to put it like that. If you ain't got no bread, I would not come down here to Atlanta.
Damn.
Put it like that.
Damn, that's crazy.
You got at the Waffle House?
Ooh, no, ain't nothing. Not Waffle House, not no bars, nothing. If you ain't got no bread, do not come down here. Straight up.
Damn, that's crazy. I heard you guys show your W-2s on dates now. Like,
oh my God,
yeah, that's crazy out there. So again, man, make sure you hit that like button if y'all didn't hit the like button, subscribe if y'all not already subscribed. Let me get to this first topic. How much weight should be placed on the opinions of loved ones about your significant other? And I want to start with Nikki first. What's your thoughts on this?
Honestly, none. honestly, I don't want to put, like, I know they say mother's intuition and then, a father knows best, but honestly, we're the ones in the dating whoever we're dating, and I feel like it's probably not best to listen to our parents, because they're in a different generation than the generation that we're in now. So I don't really, it might sound bad, but I don't listen to my parents honestly when they know who I'm dating and they're like, oh, I don't like so and so. I don't really listen to that.
You,
Mm.
you don't think your parents got your best interests at heart?
I think they do, but they mean well, but I don't want to listen to that either. I might sound like a rebel. I might sound like, oh gosh, but
Hmm.
Let me ask you a question. Have they turned out to be right though?
honestly, yes. See, they have so far.
Hmm.
My choices and men so far is probably not the best, but I'm learning as I'm aging. But so far, they actually have been right on most of them. Some of them, no, but most of them, yes, they have been right. I have to say that much.
Okay. Tierra, what's your thoughts on this?
I feel as if our parents and our elders should be consulted before we even develop feelings. Like if we want to be founded in what it is that we say we want to get back to as a people, because we complain about broken homes, broken relationships, and leaving the hierarchy of vetting men and women out before we even get to know them has been completely removed. And our elders have been completely removed. And I just know that I really wish that I listened to my parents more, but I didn't even give them the chance, because most men I was not even bringing home to my parents because I knew that they did not meet up to the qualifications and the standards that my parents had set out and established before me. So for me, it's an ignorance when we begin to throw the baby out with the bathwater because we say that we're in a new generation. There's absolutely nothing new under the sun. And so that's just my stance on it.
Okay. Jay, what's your thoughts?
I think you could ask for advice. That's cool, but especially like for a man, I think you gotta figure it out on your own. Especially if you come from like a single mom, because if it's up to your mama, you stay home forever. She'll never want you to leave. You could be a grown man, be in the crib. Your mama don't want you to go nowhere, especially if she ain't got no man of her own. So it's the best that you do your own thing and just figure it out on your own day. And for the ladies, it might be a little different. You could take some advice from your pops and your mom, but for the man, you got to get out here and figure it out, in my opinion.
What if she's a girl with a single mom? She should still take advice from her?
I think so. I think the mom got some experience, so she can hand it down to her daughter. But for a man, nah, because like I said, your mama don't want you to go nowhere. To be honest, she gonna love you forever. Like my mom, she Jamaican, she from the island, so her mind is different from like Americanized mom. She'll never want me to leave the crib. She want me here forever. So you gotta figure it out on your own, in my opinion.
Copy.
Okay. I forgot how to say it in the Khadijah, right?
Kazish.
Yeah, just call me Kay. It's fine.
Okay. What's your thoughts on that?
I feel like with relationships, we can value our parents' opinion, but it shouldn't be like set in stone. Like it shouldn't be what makes you say, okay, I will be with this person. Because when you're an adult, like you should leave and cleave. So find your own family, do your own thing. Like you could take advice, but to be like, oh, my mom don't like you, so that's it. Or my dad don't like you, that's it. It shouldn't hold that much weight, because at the end of the day, you are with that person and you have to deal with that person, not your mom, not your dad. But you should value their opinions, but it shouldn't be so much where it makes you make that ultimate decision if you're going to stay with the person or not. That's what I think.
It's interesting how when it comes to family, not everybody, but people will disregard what their family has to say about their significant other. But if it's your homegirl, your homeboy, y'all quick to take that advice. You know what I mean? So it's like, when it's family, it's like, nah, I don't really want to. I got to figure it out on my own. But when it's your homegirl or your homeboy, then it's like you value their opinion more than you would value your family's opinion.
I mean, that's for some people. For me, like we all need that one person, or we need somebody that you can vent to, or like if you have issues. Like, first of all, when you're in a relationship, everything should be between you and that person. Like, there should not be no third party. But let's call a spade a spade. Relationships aren't perfect, and we're always gonna have like arguments and stuff. But sometimes you need somebody to talk to kind of like get a what are your thoughts, but not like don't give away too much, maybe, or because like it's just like if you have a therapist or you go to therapy, that's an outside person that's not biased, right? But my point is, if you do get an opinion, it should, like for me, if my friends come to me for advice, I will never ever say leave your man, stay with your man. I can give you my honest opinion, but ultimately it's up to you to decide what you want to do.
Never ever.
Never.
If she say, "Girl, he hit me," what you gonna say?
She don't need me to tell her what to do.
I mean, sometimes clearly they do, like, you know what I mean? Because
well, thank God I've never had any encounters like that. So, but that's an exception. But yeah.
What's your thoughts on this?
I honestly think you should listen to your parents, honestly, because it's like they've been down this road before. They know what to look for, especially if you got a father that's active in your life. They know you. They know these little dudes that's running around. They probably was one of them little dudes running around, so they know what to look for. You know what I mean? But there is something to be said to going out and getting your own experiences. But I think earlier on, you should listen to what your parents got to say. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because when you get older, you're gonna look back like, damn, I should have listened to my parents. Like everybody on the panel said that. I mean, damn, I should have listened. But I mean,
but sometimes your parents don't know the person like you do, and then it's like, what are maybe it's just a different context.
Because you know the person like you do, you're looking past the red flags. They don't know the person, so they seen all the red flags. So that's why they got a better, you could say, better sight on what's really going on. Because you blinded by love at some, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, maybe he won't, maybe he's right, he won't do it again. You know what I mean? But if somebody's been through that already, they're like, yeah, he gonna do it again.
Well, I guess if you're coming from the place of if there's like actual, some type of chaotic situation going on, but I thought the question was more like, just like in general, like does your family's opinion, holds that much weight as to your decision, whether you're with someone or not?
I'm talking about even small stuff like they're petty and they hold grudges or stuff, and they see that in that person, but you can't see it because you just see the good in them. You know what I mean? You want to see the good in them, so that's all you're gonna see. But they see the bad stuff. So sometimes it's good to get an outside opinion, because especially if it's unbiased. If it's an unbiased outside opinion, it's good to get that.
Well, for me, I trust my mom and my dad's opinion, so yeah.
Drew, what's your thoughts on this?
Even I agree with you said too, Eli. I think some people just think that their parents don't like the person they're with, but sometimes parents could see how that person is making you change to be something that you in a direction you're not supposed to be going. Right. So let's say like you were career driven and you was ambitious and you was in the gym and all this, but when you with this person, you're now lazy, always want to be cuddled up, all these other things that might prevent you from chasing your first ambition or whatever the case may be. So I think sometimes parents don't really necessarily don't like the person. They may not like where it's taking you at a young age. It's a difference from when you're looking at your child date somebody and your child dating somebody when they're older. They know your tendencies, how you may be gullible for a person. So I think that part is very hard to pick from. But I also think that we should listen, but we should also have the understanding that ultimately this decision is up to us. But it's nothing wrong with getting advice from anybody, friend, family, etc. You could get it from a goddamn stranger, but ultimately you got to understand that you make the decision at the end of the day. And if that person makes you happy, Not no fake happy, not no toxic happy. Happy for the night. I'm talking about like happy genuinely, and then go for it.
Yeah,
do you think it's something to be said about? All right, so you grow up, your parents is telling you what to do your whole life. So like when you finally get like some freedom, it's like nigga, oh shit.
Okay, all right, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
I think I shot. But
no, that's two. That's two.
That's two.
You said the N word, then you said all S sugar honey iced tea.
All right, I take
yeah, like.
All right. But what I'm saying is, when you finally get that freedom, it's like, yeah, you can't tell me what to do. Now I'm gonna do whatever I want. I think like it's kind of psychologically in there. Like I'm finally free from this person. I don't gotta listen. That's why people don't want to take advice from their parents.
No, yeah, I think that's true, and I agree with what Jay said earlier. There are some parents who have a self-interest. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes you might have that mom that does want that son husband figure, and they don't want you going out and getting another woman that you're going to eventually put over her. You know what I mean? Or just like a father, vice versa. He might see you as daddy little girl here and want no other man, to be there, or you to prioritize another man over him. You know what I mean? So there's a certain bias, but there also are family. You got parents like my mom, who I trust her, opinion on, how she views.
You do?
Yeah, for sure. Listen, I trust her opinion when it comes to the quality of women, not the physical, aspects. But you know what I mean, like. But
what that mean? Break that down for the people. What that mean?
Come on, man, don't do me like that. Like, but my mom is somebody who does.
People want to know though what you mean by that. Like,
nobody wants to know that. Y'all want to know.
Yeah, put one in the chat if y'all want to know what Eli mean.
My mom has my best interest. She just doesn't know as far as the type of physical, what I'm physically attracted to in a woman. She knows the quality of the woman that I want, but she doesn't quite know the physical attraction that I will want in a woman. Like so.
And sometimes parents want what they want for you, what they see you with. Like you gotta be real. Like some parents are like that.
But are you passing up quality women?
You might
because of the physicality. Are you being shallow?
Are you being shallow?
Listen, I'm not opposed. Listen, to me, you don't got to be no Beyonce, Rihanna. Like, you don't got to be a 10, a 9, like an 8. Like, to me, that doesn't matter. But I do want to be attracted to you. And sometimes the people that my mom be picking, like, they're a little hard on, they're a little rough on the eyes. That's all I'm going to say. Like,
in what way are they rough on the eyes?
Oh, listen, it's just y'all going. Listen, man.
Are they not pretty? Like, in what way you mean? Like, cause you said they ain't have to be no Beyonce.
Yo, just know the person is probably watching this stream.
They probably watching this. Like, yo, all right, like, yo, shout out to you. But I think you should take into consideration, obviously your parents or a loved one's opinion on, obviously your significant other or the person that you're dating and stuff like that. So, I'm gonna just leave it at that because y'all mother effers in here going crazy, like, put a one in the chat, like, yo.
What's good, King Confidence? What's good, bro?
Yo, shout out to King Confidence, man. Listen, let's get into a much more interesting conversation. Can a man maintain his position as head of the household if his partner contributes significantly to the finances? What's your thoughts on this? And I want to start here with let me start with Jay. Jay, what's your thoughts on this real quick?
I think so. I think it depends on the man. If the man brings something, the woman brings something, cool. But it depends what your value is. So, like, let's say they both bring in money, but she values sex and you weak in the bedroom. Well, then she gonna hold you to that. She be like, oh, well, he weak as hell. So it's gonna be a problem. So it just depends. Like, it's give and take what her values are. But I think it just depends on the man. Does he have dominance? Does he hold frame? Who is he as a man? Everybody puts a big thing on money, but they're not looking at who the man is with the money or who the woman is with the money.
Yeah.
Okay. Nikki, what's your thoughts?
I definitely think it will be a strain in a relationship because I've had a family friend who was engaged and I know about the situation and they broke off the engagement because they were having some financial issues and he had an ex-wife and it was just a lot going on. He had to pay alimony from the ex-wife and they were just going through a financial struggle. So I believe with if a woman is carrying most or a big majority of the finances, I believe it would be a strain in a relationship. It wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tiara, what's your thoughts?
On what aspect you're speaking of, but I believe that who a man is who he is. To echo Jay, a man's authority and his position as head does not change because of how much money he makes. If that man goes broke, he is still the head of the household. And as a woman, you're supposed to submit to him regardless because that's the position that you put yourself in. My parents were married for 36 years, and my mother made more money than my father because she had 3 degrees. However, my father still took care of majority of the bills, and she never lorded her degrees or her money over his head because he's a man of authority. And when that struggle begins to ensue, a lot of times it's because the female is taking her position of financial authority over a man, and that's just something that's completely out of order.
Okay, Kay, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it could definitely still be the head of household. I'm big on, gender roles, but let's take money out of the equation. Like, if we're just looking for superficial stuff, then, it's not going to work. Because if there's no money, what else do you look for in a leader? If I'm looking for a person, I'm not looking for necessarily like how much you make and this. I'm looking for somebody that can lead and protect and guide, and be an exemplary figure, like, in my household, not just money. Like, you have people that make so much money and they still don't know how to lead. They still don't even know how to communicate or do anything. So,
I'm
but
really,
today's society is different, and I'm gonna
yeah,
just leave it right there.
I'm really curious to know what is the dynamics of relationships going to look like in the future when we have all of this AI start to replace people's jobs en masse, and we're going to have to rely on things like universal income. Um, I just want to know what's the dynamics of relationships going to be in that part, because obviously most people are not going to be working because of the advancement of technology. You know what I mean? If everybody has a form of universal unemployment, that means everybody makes the same amount of money. Like, you know what I mean? So I just want to know what's the difference, because right here in New York City, I see other ethnic groups of women working. I just went to the Spanish restaurant, nothing but Hispanic women working behind the counters, 8-hour shifts. You know what I mean? I go to the Chinese restaurant, I see Asian women working besides they men. I go to the Indian, you know what I mean? I see all these women working just as hard as their mates, but regardless of, so if they're working, it just matters if they pay bills. Like, because these women are working just as hard, and maybe let's say they don't have to pay bills. Is it because you automatically have to take your earnings and contribute it to the household? That's where you feel like, is that where some women feel like, oh, well, because I have to give my money up to the bills, I can't be feminine? Or like, I'm just confused on the aspect of working, because I've seen other ethnic groups of women do the same thing, and I don't hear them complaining necessarily about that they can't submit to certain gender roles, or they can't be feminine, or they can't be X, Y, and Z. Is it only because you have to pay the bills? That's where it becomes a burden. Like, I'm just trying to get an understand of what the woman's mentality is when it comes to this in a relationship. Nikki, what's your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I think over time everything just evolved. It was back in the days traditionally woman was known to be in the kitchen cooking, and then as we evolved in age and time, women became more independent, and so I guess over time a lot of women, not everyone, but a lot of women's mentality became, okay, I'm independent, I can do things on my own, and if I can get a man to help, cool, but I feel like it's just more of an independence thing, that it's a lot of women's mentality it where things got a little screwed down the line.
Okay. Drew, what's your thoughts on this topic? Do you think a man could be head of household if he's not provided, I guess, 100%, or maybe his woman is contributing to the bill significantly? You on mute.
I think he could and should be the head of household. I think men are placed in a relationship to provide leadership as well. You know, sometimes, you know, he should be also being financially responsible, which, you know, gains his woman trust. But let's say if you're at a moment where you may not have it and your woman has it, or your woman is more financially successful than you are, I think her being in a relationship with you comes with the trust of knowing that you would make the best decision for the family. You get what I'm saying? Ultimately, if you don't feel like that man is that guy that can do that for you, you shouldn't be in a relationship with him.
Ace, what's your thoughts?
I think it's possible. Do I think it's likely? No. We all know that women are hypergamous by nature, and with that, with finances come a level of respect, I would say, in a household. Uh, like Jay said, Tiara said, I mean, you should be able to establish your dominance per se, you know what I mean, in the household, but it's a lot of masculinity in these women today, and I think it would ultimately lead to bumping of heads in most relationships. I'm not gonna say all relationships, so I don't know how successful that's gonna be, but I do think it's possible. You know what I mean?
You coming
Can I
home,
add something?
you trying to assert your dominance, and she like, oh, you want to assert your dominance? You ain't asserting your dominance with your boss. That's what you
Exactly.
dominance with, like.
But women could be putting in a quarter of the rent or a quarter. The fact that they're putting in anything, they feel like, not saying that they don't have a say, but they feel like they should be able to question everything and put themselves in a man's shoes without sounding like, I don't want to sound sexist or anything, but like without, if this man is paying everything, then they feel like they can listen and do everything to make the man happy. But if they put in 10% into what a man is doing, then all respect is gone. It's like bad credit. I don't have to listen to you. I don't fuck with you no more. You ain't the boss.
You on what? You on what?
What?
That's what they.
He really confused. Like what? Like you know what? Like you know what I'm saying? Like
No, I'm just saying. It's just like once they got to pay one bit of bills or anything. But if I keep hearing women say like, if you paying everything, then I'ma shut up. I'ma cook. I'ma clean. I know how to make you happy. I'ma keep you happy. And I don't think it should be like that.
Great.
Can I say something? It's a great misnomer that Black women grew up in this traditional household where we never worked, where our men just worked. If you begin to look statistically, Black women have always worked. All of this child support and everything came from TANF. It was literally created for poor white women who were not working. And our homes end up being broken up in the 80s, along with the crack epidemic. We were 2-parent households in the 60s and in the 70s and up into the early 80s. So all of this new independence that Black women has found is a fallacy, and it goes back to the feminist movement. It has nothing to do with because our grandmothers just cooked and they just cleaned and they just stayed at home. That wasn't how majority of our households were. We've always depended on 2 incomes. And women are not hypergamous by default. Women want to be provided for by default. Women have become hypergamous due to delusion, because many women who believe they qualify for hypergamy aren't even attractive, nice enough, or pleasant enough, or education or intellectual enough to even attract these men that make a certain amount of money. So all of this hypergamy stuff, it's a delusion. It's delusional. Majority of the women that you see out here saying that they require this, they require that, they've never had it before. And just because they've had it once, they'll think they have it again because they ran into a simp. It's not because it's something that they qualify for.
I agree with you. They saying it because it's cool, not because it is their real reality.
Exactly.
Because that's what the society says. Oh, all women should be hypergamous. They're not, because they've been dating Joe Schmo from up the block before then. So how you so hypergamous now?
I think women are hypergamous, but I just think they extended. They want the highest of highest men now. Like you could be hypergamous and date somebody that make more money than you. That's in your same tax bracket. But
That's not hypergamy.
She could be hypergamous, right? And date somebody that's working at McDonald's because she ain't got a job. You get what I'm saying? If you ain't got a job and you ain't got no money, dating a dude at McDonald's might be hypergamous for you. You get what I'm saying? In reality. So you looking for Zion, you bugging. Like,
that's what I'm saying. They looking for the highest of highest. Dog. I mean, you could find somebody making 80K, you making 40K. That's hypergamy right there. You know what I mean? There you go.
Wait, first of all, you say looking for a Zion, you bugging. But clearly, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can get to a Zion, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, you got to be a porn star to do that. But let me get to the super chats. Man. The Black intellectual said, I literally had the same issue at my job in the spring. The woman had smoked with me because I would date a girl with 3 kids and 3 baby daddies. What?
I want to know y'all opinion on that. Somebody help the Black intellectual out.
Yo, you might have to change your name after that one, man. Like I ain't gonna lie to you.
Like the Black stepdaddy right now. Like, like
somebody please, Jay.
Looking like the Lord Fourth, man. Like
somebody he's bugging. He's bugging.
We gonna get to that. We gonna get to that later, man. Trust.
Question for the ladies: can and should a man lead in a relationship if the woman is the breadwinner? I mean, we kind of just went through that. My fault, David. Shout out to you though, bro. Appreciate you. The orange pill nurse Tiara. If only majority of Black women today thought like you, sister nurses. I work at a hospital. Ain't having. Oh, sister, I work with at a hospital. Ain't having that submitting to anyone who make less. The white girl nurses I work with are marrying blue collar guys who make less. That's crazy. Okay. Eugene Steele says, if both the man and the woman have jobs, do you think they should put their earnings in one pot?
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't know about one pot, but I do think that we should have access to each other's money. And I would say, like, I wouldn't feel offended if my lady had money to the side or whatever the case, a separate bank account. I wouldn't feel
Should it be like every check you put a little bit of money into this pot? You know what I mean, for certain things.
I would say I would feel more comfortable with you saying every check I would take $30-$40 to put in my own pot to the side, rather than taking majority of the money, putting it to the side, and then putting a little bit of money into a pot. Because it's our family. This is our house. This is our kids. This is our family. Like, I need to know what we're doing with this bread.
I feel like a lot of these things should be like whatever works for each person's household, though.
Oh yeah. See, that sounds good. That sounds good in theory, but when we have a culture who is teaching, women and or men a certain dynamic, then it's like, it sounds good when you say that, like, oh yeah, to each his own. But we literally have a culture of people going on the internet or whatever they can get on these platforms and saying, well, if he not providing 100%, you don't gotta respect them, or she not doing X, Y, and Z. Like, you know what I mean? We know that in real life, like whatever.
We got an update from the Black intellectual. He said they was mad at him because he wouldn't date a woman.
Oh, what? Okay. Hey, my fault. You
gotta make sure you put that N in the apostrophe T.
Like, got you. Yeah, so in theory, like that always sounds good, but we already know what is being, kind of like indoctrinated into, each other right now. You know what I mean? So that's all the super chats.
Yeah, that was the last one.
Yeah. So I think it's very much possible. But it depends on the type of the woman. You know what I mean? I think what I find is usually when I have conversations with older women, they have much more of an appreciation and value for teamwork and understanding what it takes to build a successful relationship together. Usually when women are younger or men are younger, it becomes very much selfish. It becomes, what can you do for me? It becomes, oh, well, you got to pay all the bills while I still work, but I want to be able to spend my money on myself while you spend your money on me type of, you know what I mean? So I don't think it's till you get a little bit more mature. That's when people understand, like, yo, life is hard out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Inflation is high out here. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to take two people to make this thing work. And, I never understood the concept when I hear women say, oh, why would I go half with a man or whatever the case is? That's like a roommate. You know what I mean? So you would be
But it is.
okay. You'd be okay doing 100% of everything for yourself than to do 50% of something with somebody else. Like that concept just never made sense to me. Like, you know what I mean? So
It makes a lot of sense to me as a woman.
Why?
That is a roommate.
What part?
That is a roommate. When a man enters in your life and when a woman enters into your life, you're supposed to switch positions with one another. I never want to hold an equal position to my man, my husband. Let me say that in our home. That is a roommate situation. But as she said, I don't want to mispronounce your name. It depends on the household structure. But the way that I was raised and everything that I saw, I don't even know the type of men that would want to go 50-50. So a lot of these conversations I've never even heard or had in like real life outside of the internet. The men that I know personally, they don't play like that.
So you would rather pay 100% of your bills than to go 50-50 with a man that you love?
A man that's not a man. That's not the type of man that I don't know those type of men. I've never seen those type of men before that would even offer a woman to say, go half with me on the bills. For me, I've never seen that. And I'm just being 100% honest. I've never seen it before. Even like in my associates relationships, I've never seen that. The men in my family, the men that I've dealt with, I've never seen it.
Yeah, bro, I didn't say anything specifically. I think when people hear the word 50-50, they automatically get triggered and start thinking about bills. I don't think 50-50 necessarily has to come down to bills. Like I said, we don't believe we believe in 100. Like, you get what I'm saying? But just in general, the idea of 50-50 doesn't necessarily always come down to just finances. It could come down to other aspects, like, you know what I mean? Like, I could do, you know, when you're feeling off on one day, I could you know, lift that half of the relationship or the portion of the relationship, you know, to get us through. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think it always comes down to finances. And I think
where you live, Tiara?
Chicago.
You nigga Ace Love interrupted me while I'm in the middle of talking.
I thought you was done. My fault.
No, you don't ever. You just be talking, like, you know what I'm saying. But yeah. So it's just that, you know, it like I said, it just depends, because to me that doesn't automatically just mean 50. You know, finances just split everything down the middle. You get what I'm saying? And again, you're speaking about traditional, right? You know what I mean? And if we're talking about traditional, women working, like, you get what I'm saying? So it's a different form. Well, in a traditional sense, I get, like, back in the day, you know what I mean? The women were like at home baking pies and then selling it, whatever the case is, right? Because they didn't have the luxury of necessarily working in the actual workforce. You know what I mean?
But that's not true. That's not true for Black women. If you look, we've always worked.
But what work? I'm talking about the work. What actual workforce? Because it was illegal for women. So you mean to tell me Black women specifically?
Black women always worked. If you begin to go research like child support and TANF and SNAP and all of these things, Black women statistically have always worked until the government came in our homes and the family began to be split up. That's why I'm saying, like, if we actually studied our own history, we wouldn't be so gullible to the narrative that's out there.
What workforce were Black women working in?
Black women they've had office jobs. Black women have been nurses. My great aunt just turned 101 years old. She was a nurse.
Office jobs. Men didn't even have office jobs.
My grandmother is 82 years old. She worked for the Chicago Tribune. Like, they worked. My other grandmother worked for the factory at Brock's. Like, our women have always worked, even historically. We just don't know enough about our own history that we spew these false narratives because of what's being said on the internet. That's not true. We've always worked. That's white women stuff. Black women have adopted to white women ideology to say we've never worked before.
No, I believe Black women work even during slavery. They was raising the white people kids. I mean,
we've always worked.
I would say that
it wasn't getting paid.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
but I was saying, so when they were saying that the Black man was working at these factories and bringing home their check to these women, who they was talking about? The white men? That's what.
No, my grandfather brought his check home every day to my grandmother after he took her off her job. But she worked when my father was a little boy. She worked when my uncle was a little boy. He took her off her job so that she could help raise her grandchildren. But she worked at the Chicago Tribune.
What was she doing at that time?
What was my grandfather doing?
No, your grandmother.
She worked at the Chicago Tribune. She was doing data entry and editing for the newspaper. And she's 82 years old. That's what I'm saying. Like, all the older women in my family, they worked. They had a pension. They had a retirement, Social Security, even historically. That's not our narrative, y'all.
So where was the white one? So
the white women were at home. The white women weren't working. The white women were collecting money and getting TANF. It was for poor women, but historically, white women are on Lincoln, SNAP, and welfare and things more than black people
that's
are.
still to today. They still are the most
Yes.
welfare. It's not black people. We're manipulated, but white people are more welfare than we are, or public assistance.
I maybe everybody's grandparents is different. I talked to my grandparents. They tell me they wasn't even I don't understand. Women weren't even allowed to work, especially black. I mean, especially in our society of black people. You know what I mean? So I'm confused as how in the 60s and the 50s.
I gotta do some more research.
Yeah, I'm confused how they were getting jobs. And
I have a whole video about it on my YouTube page with sources and everything.
Send me that link. Send me that
link. I'll double check that out. Yeah. So again, I think the concept, like Tara said, apparently, black women were always working for the government, whatever the case is. So my thing is, what were they doing with their money? They were working, and in the relationship or whatever the case is, what were they doing necessarily with their money? Because the father was still in charge of taking care of his daughter, right? So what was she doing with her money necessarily?
You say your grandfather relieved your grandmother of her work duties, though, right?
Yeah, they were married for 54 years before my grandfather passed away in 2016. And so when my grandmother was working, just like my mom, my parents was married for 36 years before my mom passed away in 2021. Their money, rainy days, vacations. My mama paid all her own student loan debts because that was her debt. Her credit cards, that was hers. Her car, she paid it off. And so their money was there as savings, as cushions, vacation funds, fund money, light bill, cable bill, the small stuff. The men paid the mortgages and the big bills. But I also come from a breed of women that would never see their men pay 100% of everything because they don't want their black men to be burdened when they come home.
Okay, that's fair. Let me get to this next topic. We got any super chats, King? All right. So next topic is it possible to discover genuine love or an established committed relationship via online dating apps? What should I think about? I'm gonna start here with Nikki. Nikki, you've been kind of quiet. Let me hear about this.
I think it's very much possible. I think a lot of people are afraid to really go out in public and meet and be social. So I feel like the dating apps is a way for people to be like, behind their phone, talk and interact with different people. And then when they feel the courage, they can meet up with that person. So I feel like it's definitely possible to find love off of dating apps because it's so easily accessible and there's so many different dating apps that it's possible.
Yeah, there's a lot of different dating apps out there. Like, I mean,
it's very much possible.
Jay, what's your thoughts? Y'all using dating apps out there in Atlanta? Like, y'all just meet? How y'all meeting these women? Y'all going into them in person? Like, what's the situation?
Well, no, they do the apps, but me personally, I'd rather just do it in person. Like, I don't think it's possible to do all the dating app stuff. Like, if you taking dating app serious for a relationship, I think you tripping. Like, really, it's just filters and lies, filters, lies. How many dates you gotta go on and get catfish to make you realize, like, yo, this thing is crazy? It's basically just hookup, straight up. Everybody's lying. I'm not looking for hookup. It's hookup, straight up. Especially in Atlanta, ain't nothing serious when I'm dating that.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, what's your thought?
Me, I've tried dating app. That is not for me, honey. That is not for me. Like, my experience has been very bad. I deleted it.
What app you was on?
Huh?
What app you was on?
Hinge. I think everybody in New York has tried it.
That's tough.
I have not had a good experience. For me, it's not so much of the app itself because there are people on there that, genuinely looking for their person, and then there's just people there that like he said, a hookup. Like, they're not serious. Most of them, they're not not serious, and their bio has this. Some of them are narcissistic. Their bio is crazy, and I've deleted that app. Like the first time I went on it, I was on it for like a week, deleted it, went back on it like a year later, and the same set of guys are still there looking. And I'm like, something must be wrong with you. Like, you're on this app, and they always have this thing about, oh, I'm not really on here, so give me a number. Like, no, what? Are you on here to find love, or are you trying to like get numbers? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the guys on there are just the ones that I've been meeting or, communicating with at the time are just like, they're just feeling entitled and angry. However, if the platform is used correctly, I feel like you can find your person and you can communicate and build on a dating app. It's not impossible, but it also could be dangerous because you don't know that person. And I feel like you should also just take caution if you are trying to, go on a dating app. Like, don't just go meet up with the person because you just met them and they seem nice. Feel them out and have conversations and just be safe, Yeah.
Tiara, what's your thoughts on this?
I'll say I will never use a dating app, but I can't be hypocritical. One of my longest lasting relationships till this day was met over MySpace when I was 19 years old. And that's like a hypergamous conversation. But we were kids, and he lives in another country, and yeah, we still in contact 15
Oh, you
years
was a
later.
passport sis before there was passport sis.
Oh yeah, I was going to Toronto before I even met him. I was going to Toronto when I was like 19 years
Toronto
old.
count as a passport, sis?
Yeah, you gotta use your passport to
You
get
need
over
your
there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's who bought my passport though. That person. So that was like MySpace days.
Said MySpace, that's you took it way back. Like,
Yeah.
Ace, what's your thoughts?
You said can you find love on dating app?
Genuine connection.
Well, I seen an article the other day that said that 7 out of 10 new marriages they find a mate on a dating app. So it's out there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, we all know that the marriages ain't successful nowadays either. So I don't know. People just rushing into marriages. I don't know if that's a good statistic to say.
I mean, well, they falling head over heels for something. I don't know. But anyway,
a lot of people are not getting married for a union and the love. It's just the optics and the wedding, the dress, the ring, the festivities of it. That's why these marriages aren't lasting because everybody's getting engaged.
And you listen for a woman.
Who getting married for the optics? You think?
A lot of these, first of all, social media has totally brainwashed these people. A lot of people don't have values and morals anymore. So what they see, they think it's real, and everybody's lives are just perfect, and it's not what it is.
You talking about these people? Who are you talking about?
I've seen people got engaged and got the ring taken back.
We talking gender specifically.
I don't females.
Oh,
okay, all right, okay.
That make a lot of sense, though. I ain't gonna lie, that make a lot of sense.
It does because a lot of females, like I said, it's just the pressure of so and so, and they're look at this and this is cute and this would look nice, but they're not really understanding that when you become a wife, it's a whole different ball game. They're not ready for that. Right. They want to get married because it looks good and because we've been dating for such and such time. It's time for you have to. That's why with certain conversations I take a step back because I'm gonna be the bad guy because I'm a woman and I'm gonna talk my talk. But a lot of these women aren't getting married to be a real wife. They're just getting married for the optics. Because a real wife, you need to be able to be submissive to your man. That's the first thing. When they hear submission, women are like, oh, no. My man can't tell me what to do, what not to do. That's your why are you married then?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what marriage is. Everybody just want to put on the dress and get the ring so they can flaunt it to say they're married. My man, my man, my man. I don't care. Like
or they submissive and feminine until he loses his job, and then now all of a sudden, like, you know what I mean, they don't know how to do that.
You're
like,
getting married for the wrong reason. Getting married to someone is you're saying, I choose you and I will choose you every day. I want to be that person that is your peace, your joy. We go through the hard times together and we pick it up and we keep it moving. That's what it is. Not the vows of sickness and in health is a real thing. A lot of these people, whether man or woman, if their significant other got really ill and let's say they got incontinent, they would not even want to help them at the bathroom. They would not want to change a diaper if it came down to that. They don't know what it is. It's selflessness. Do you understand me? It is a vow that you take that I will be there for you, not until your money dries up. Not until you're supposed to look at your person. That's why people should not rush into marriage, because it's like looks is gonna fade, boobs are gonna drop, you're gonna look wrinkly, your man is not gonna always look nice. You always have to choose, and people change every single day. And the person you marry today is not gonna be the same person in 10 years. You have to make that decision that I will still choose you 10 years down the road. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, Jew, man, we already know your stance on this, but let the folks again know, is it possible to find genuine love or a genuine connection on these dating apps?
No, I'm gonna tell ladies how it is. Men is only there for the pooms. Like you said, Kay, you were saying like guys, I do think men are more realistic on dating apps.
I'll be back at it again.
We put it out there that word, like, let me get your number. I'm not on here, like you said. I'm on here to only get the draws. That is it. That's the only reason why men are on these dating apps. The only dudes that's really looking for a relationship are dudes that can't talk when they see a girl in front of them. Those are the only dudes that's looking for real relationships. I'm letting you know. Fellas, if I'm blowing your spot up, my bad. But what I'm telling you,
he don't care, fellas.
Real dudes that's on these dating apps, they are only looking for pooms. I swear to you, pooms is not a curse. They're only there for the pooms.
I don't really agree. You know what it is? A lot of the guys, everybody has their type. And, someone that maybe a certain female might not find attractive, and he's the one that, let's say there's a group of guys and like he always never gets picked, he's gonna be on that app and he's looking for someone.
Yeah, to get his body count up. Yeah.
I don't agree. First of all, in real life, you're doing the same thing.
I was copying. Now I'm doing it in real life, and now I got my other rolling my dice on my phone out here, copy and pasting the same message. Hey, beautiful, how's your day? Hey, beautiful, how's your day?
But you copy and paste replies in real life too. Like
whoever replies, I'm in between their thighs. That's it, bro. What are you talking about?
Listen, the views of you do not. I think it is possible to find genuine love, man. Depends on which app you is going on. I ain't gonna hold you. If you on Tinder, you know what I mean. I don't know about
Tinder swindler.
If you go on Tinder, he gonna bet.
It's certain apps specifically. Like if you on this mother effer. You know what I mean? Like you want me?
Wait, he didn't curse us now?
No, I didn't.
No,
I did not curse.
He curses
I did not curse. We could go. You can run the tape back. I did not curse. But there's certain apps where like I'm only here to get as much access to women.
How many apps have you been on, Eli? What you mean? There's certain apps.
I've been on them all. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And are you just looking for pooms? Cause like
that's what I said, it depends on the app. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
oh my!
I tell you, if it's Tinder, like I'm just seeing what's up for the night. You know what I mean? But there's other apps that
that Eli bio, it says Pound Town, #Pound Town.
It do not say that. Stop it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you set my tongue out if your booty hole burns.
Nah, nah, stop it. Like, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my God.
I ain't never gonna see that in my life. I don't even have a bio. Like, you know what I mean? But again, there's other apps that, you know, people take more seriously. Like if you go to eharmony.com, or if there's apps that you have to actually
The apps that you gotta pay for.
yeah, they gonna take that a little bit more seriously.
Christian Mingle.
Christian Mingle.
All right, be that naive. I will be in Christian Mingle, acting like I'm gonna have a Bible scripture as my bio, and bring them to me. Boom.
You going to hell?
All right, and y'all don't think those dudes out there that's doing that?
No,
you don't think these dudes out here
there are, but
wait, hold on,
my boy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, people in the chat, you saying because I'm paying for a subscription to get pooms, it makes me more of a nicer guy?
No,
you
talking about this. First of all, when you speak talk about yourself, bro, you do not represent a majority of all the men out here. Like maybe it's just the dudes like you, clearly. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But he's right, because men pay for porn subscriptions, so they'll pay for a dating subscription to have sex.
Oh my God.
Christian Mingle?
Yes.
That's crazy. Nah, that's crazy. That's taking it.
I heard the church girls go wild when they not.
I know he's finna say that. I was a PK. But no, you have men online who use the Bible to get some on Instagram. So it's like, what's the difference between IG, Facebook, and a dating app when it's all
has to be smashing all the ladies in the church? What are you talking about? Look, that's another conversation.
Yeah, you don't represent every man.
First of all, you ain't got no you don't need to be in this conversation.
Like, yeah, you definitely.
That's why I could have this conversation. I'm saved now, but like I said, I'm telling you, I'm exposed.
Yeah, you
wasn't even
also when your F-boy days.
Ace and Eli don't want me to expose it. If y'all see that, if y'all find any of y'all find Ace or Eli on a dating app, man, post it on the gram, tag. Please, let me know.
I'm gonna log back into my Hinge real quick.
I ain't gonna, you know what I mean? You might see one of us, and ain't me on there. Like that's all I'm gonna say. Like,
oh my God! And when guys lie about their height, men are lying on these apps saying they're 6'6" and 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", and they're like 5'7".
Hey, we not about to do that because y'all women be out here taking these selfies, knowing y'all BBWs. Y'all be out here catfishing with these filters.
You're heavy on the y'all at this point.
Only what that mean?
Huh?
And every picture got a filter, and then when you
got a filter, you want edit. You got certain angles. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, men are more likely to get catfished on dating apps than
women too. Why do you feel like it's all about y'all? Y'all post y'all hat. Take your hat off. Take your hat off. Take your hat off. Let me see what's going on here and over here.
A man might lie about and height.
Come on.
I feel attacked.
Even if I take my wig off, I still got more hair than some of these men.
You're supposed to.
Don't do that. Men catfish us too. Like, that's not fair.
You talking
about a hat. We got to worry about makeup, wigs, weaves, BBWs. I mean, BBLs.
You know what's so funny? Like on my dating profile, I posted a naked bare face photo, and it got a lot of likes. So not all women are like that. If you're confident, I'm confident enough to not wear makeup. So just like how you have a man that could post a hat, no hat, let's see that too. So it goes both ways. And he posted an old picture from 2010. And he don't look like that.
On my gram photo, that joint, like, I got waves in there. So
if you see my Hinge photo, my Hinge profile, I got a picture on there without no hat.
Okay, well,
in America,
that is one thing too. Women take 100 photos a day. Men don't really be taking photos. That's why like, send me an updated photo. I don't go around just taking selfies. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't just see a backdrop and be like, let me take a photo.
But why are you on a dating app then? You gotta keep it current. Are you one of them that be like, oh, sorry, I'm not on here as much? You respond like 10 years later.
I don't be on there because I be on the other apps. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta distribute my time like equally. Like, you get what I'm saying?
He sound like the dude I was talking about.
So how women are gonna find love if guys like you are on a million other dating apps, entertaining a million other women?
It's called dating. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they gotta ask their parents.
Thank you. That's what I was thinking.
They gotta ask they what?
They parents.
They parents for what?
How to find love.
To vet out who they meet.
Okay. Oh, you bring it back to the okay. I see what you did. I see
You
what you
got
did.
full circle it. You know what I mean? Full
Yeah,
circle.
and me, I rather, you know what I mean? I'd rather have the number than you, like, you know what I mean? DMing back and forth. Like, I could call you. If I really want to get to know you and expedite, you know, whatever the case is, I could call you. I'm not going to sit there and wait back and forth like tennis, like, you know what I mean? For you to be like, oh, I didn't see my phone all day, even though it's 2023 and we have our phones literally in the palm of our hands every fucking, my fault. Every second, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Don't fall for that.
Shot. Everybody.
Come on, Eli. Take that shot.
Man. Like,
get him.
That's crazy, man. Like,
Got him.
But listen, I do think it is there. You know, you can find it. You know, I agree. I also agree with Juice. A lot of guys and or women are looking to get what they can out of these dating apps. Like, and that's not act like women be on these apps just looking for love. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, y'all looking for a come up to, you know what I mean? Like, it could be sex, it could be free dates, it could be send money to my Cash App, it could be there's a lot of variety that women could be using men for. Don't act like y'all can just get on these apps and y'all just looking for love. Like that, no, like let's stop that. Like, you know what I mean?
I be looking for love.
Why you took a shot? I'm gonna read the super chats. Go ahead, bro. The orange pill. Nah. Come back on the screen.
Let's see you take that shot. Come on.
The orange pill nurse said, when I told the black women at work about money, they want a man who can pay majority, and the women will use their money for household, but don't want the man to tell them how their money is spent and saved. Okay. I want to shout out the new member, Bart Howell. Nah, man, shout out to you. Look good in the green, my boy.
I think we all should be open in a relationship about where our money is going to be spent. You know what I'm saying? Like,
a relationship?
Yeah, relationship. We living together. Hell yeah.
Okay, all right, I respect it.
Yeah.
Fresh Jones said, do you believe we are in a gender war, and how long do you think it will last? Who want to answer that
one? Yeah, we've been in the gender war for a minute. I don't think it's going to be here.
You took a shot, my boy?
I'm don't worry.
We gonna get to the answer. I mean, take a shot though, my boy. Like, what's up with you?
All right, man. Yo, Jay, man, can you answer this question for us, man? You think we in a gender war?
Yeah.
I think the weak men are in a gender war. I think the dudes that's really like messing with women for real, they not in no gender war because they already understand what time it is. They know what's going on out here. I think men struggling with women are in a gender war. The men you see complain about women are in the gender war. The men who are getting the women and they're not in a war because they getting the women. So
that's a great point.
Okay.
Damn sure I can't.
Chime in? No.
Okay.
Now, I absolutely think we in a gender war, regardless of. There's only a small percentage of men that are actually successful with women, and we can't forget that women are in the same gender war. Discriminating against men, bashing men. I think a gender war is not necessarily because you can't get women or you can't get men. It's simply because you're frustrated with the quality of women that you see in mass, or quality of men that you see in mass, that you feel like, these people are bashing me. These people are not doing X, Y, and Z for me. So, I don't think it necessarily comes down to, and I get what you are saying, Jay, but I don't think it necessarily comes down to, if you're getting women or not, because we got verified people in our IGs that's liking our videos, that's commenting. These are men that are well off, like, you know what I'm saying, successfully, you would think, but financially, they are well off, and they still can relate to the videos and to the topics that we talk about. They even comment on some of the videos when some of these women say, outrageous stuff. So, I don't think it necessarily comes down to, I just don't have success. Maybe those men are, obviously experiencing a different quality of life. You know what I mean? But I think when you talk about the general, we talk about the majority of the public, or the majority of people. And the majority of people, seem to be frustrated with, the quality of in the dating market. Like, everybody's complaining about the dating market. You know what I mean? And then when you complain about the dating market, it's, men ain't stepping up, men ain't this, men ain't that. And we talk to the men, women ain't doing this, women ain't doing that. Like, you know what I mean? So there is a constant bashing of one another.
Social media.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think
even dating apps, it's a fast track. We're not getting to know each other. I already done seen you naked before we went on a date. All I gotta do is go look up.
That's what I'm saying. If you're looking for tradition, you in a war. But if you just looking for like a good time, you
That
good.
part.
Like
That part.
sex is at an all-time high right now. If you're not, you can get it faster than ever right now. If you're looking for a traditional relationship with marriage, with the roles, it's tough. That's the war right now.
And I feel like social media plays a big role because people are being easily influenced by what they see on social media. They don't know what goes on in people's household. People come on here and they're showing the pretty side of me and Bay and the little recording, and it's cute and everything, but that the struggle of two people with different personalities living together, working together, y'all don't see the struggle. It is hard. It is not easy. And so when they get in relationships and they're like, they want to quit, bow out 2 seconds later because they're like, what is this? Oh, you're toxic. You're this. You're no. It is two different personalities that have to coexist. This is what it is. You expect, that's what I'm just saying, like, men don't understand that when you meet a woman, you can't just get submission right off the bat. That's not how it works. And then it's the same thing, and men are like, oh, but same thing when women want us to give them money. You're dating the wrong person. If you meet somebody and that's what they want, you leave that alone. Don't go trying to be like, oh, these women these days and these men these days. Date in your lane. If I meet a guy and he's not what I want, I'm not gonna be sitting he's frugal, he's this, he's that.
I do believe that men should earn submission, right? But women are now saying not even in a relationship. When you're in a relationship, your woman should be submissive.
No, she shouldn't.
No,
she shouldn't.
When she's married to her man.
Why do I have to wait for a marriage to know if you're gonna do something in this relationship before we?
I'll tell you why.
What is submission?
Why? Because then you can be.
What is your definition of submission, Drew? Because these men that we meet in this generation is they meet you 2 seconds and you can't even say anything. Oh, you talk back. Oh, you do this.
No. As a man, I'm saying I'm submitting to my woman as well. We submit to each other.
That's out of order, and that's our problem.
Okay.
She should show you that she has the attributes to be a submissive woman. Just like you should show her that you have the attributes to be a provider. It's not your job to provide for a woman that you're not married to. And it's not a woman's job to submit to a man that she's not married to. You see these qualities in one another. And then when you gain your headship over her by giving her your last name, by making her the beneficiary on your insurance policy, by honoring her as a woman, that's when she comes under your authority and under your headship. Until then, y'all are coexisting.
Tierra,
and she's going to respect you
the
as
woman,
the man.
The woman that you speak of doesn't exist to get that type of trust from men.
Women exist like that.
I know, and so
what I'm saying in reality for the men that's going through dating these women nowadays, they could never get that trust. They are.
You are talking.
They are taking men money off. They're taking men money. They're getting married. They're showing commitment. They're showing that they're wonderful women, and then leaving.
You know what? And this goes back to the original.
Tyrese just went through it.
Tierra, so what can a man save for marriage then? So
so I'm gonna be very transparent. I've been engaged before. Okay. And I've been engaged and proposed. Well, I've been proposed to multiple times, but I've been engaged twice, 7 years apart. And I was not sleeping with the young man that proposed to me. We didn't have sex. We weren't kissing. We weren't holding hands. We were getting to know one another in a very intimate way. It was not his job to take care of my children. It was not his job to pay my bills. He took me out on dates. He showed me that he had a good credit score. He showed me that he was respectful to his mother. He showed me that he knew how to take care of himself and that he was the servant of the Most High God. He saw the way that I ran my household and the way that I spoke to him, the way that I honored him, the way that I moved amongst him. And I'm not going to require a man to provide for a household that, first of all, he didn't create, and a household that he is not living in. And whenever I have run into a man that was willing to pay my bills and do this for me and do that for my kids, I let them know in the door, I don't take you serious, because if I'm just out here giving you my body all free willy-nilly, you're not going to take me serious. A wise man knows that he does not invest into a woman that does not belong to him, because that's a deficit. That's a debt. You're investing into someone that can just leave you. And so it goes back to the original conversation. When men are getting with these women, because I know a few men that are very unhappily married. A lot of time men give women rings out of obligation. Just like sis said, that women only get married because of the look of it. A man will marry a woman because he was able to cheat on you and he was able to embarrass you for years, and you wouldn't leave him, because that's all he's been trying to get you to do is leave him. So here go that ring. And a lot of women show men what they are. A lot of men like the bitter woman. A lot of men like the mean woman, because you can cheat on her and she's never going to have a conversation with the other woman. So you deal with her meanness and you deal with her bitterness until it has to do with you and at home. So because you're not looking out for the red flags and you're just looking at a woman and her vagina and what she provides for you, you didn't vet her properly and you didn't take her home, because if you did, one of your mamas, your grandmamas, your auntie, your sister, somebody was going to tell you that ain't right.
I don't care who you vet, who you put up there. You can put them on a lie detector test. They are nice.
I believe you.
It's a different world. I agree that, you know, there was a time, like Jay said, there was a time where traditional values was ideal. It was life. It was law without even having to say it. We knew our places. That time has gone. It's past. It's nowhere near here.
There's nothing traditional about 2020. Like, look at the society we live in. There's nothing traditional about that. So we are. My thing is, everybody's able to adapt to every other, you know, alternative lifestyle outside of traditional gender norms. And again, just to answer, I don't know if you answered it, but just for Ace's question, like, what can a man withhold from a woman until he's married to her? Like that. That's what we want to know. Tiara. You on mute? I didn't hear you.
Can you repeat the question?
I said, what should a man withhold from a woman until he's married to her?
You don't provide for her. That's not her money. You take her on dates. You could give her gifts every now and then. It's not your job to provide for her. Withhold that. It's not your job to give her your authority and her protection. That's you. When y'all out in public together, that's one thing. But I'm sorry, when I'm dating a man, my daddy's still my first phone call, because at the end of the day, my daddy got my insurance policy. My daddy the person that the doctor's gonna call. Men have to know that you don't let a woman be easily accessible to you. Don't be eating her cooking. Because what type of woman is cooking for you when y'all not married?
You talking about in a relationship, though?
I'm talking about in a relationship. Some things should.
You're not gonna let your girlfriend cook for you?
Some things should be withheld to marry. I'm gonna tell you like this. That was one of my main rules. And in my last relationship, I found myself doing things that I knew I wasn't supposed to be doing, because that's not my job. That's like him coming to my house and providing me all the groceries. Why am I cooking for you? This is we're not married. Though it's just some things that we be getting blurred lines in. And yeah, this is probably me being super traditional, but me and y'all give too much too soon. To women that's not deserving of it.
These times,
y'all lead with y'all money for what? Take these chicks to some free museum dates. Vet them out. Get to know where they headspace at. Save your money, because at the end of the day, that's all they doing is pocket watching. And if that's what y'all are so easily giving, y'all gonna continue to attract the same type of woman who can't even hold an intellectual conversation, because she's just looking at how much money you're about to spend on her on the first date.
But I'm glad you said that, because like I was saying earlier, people need to date in their lane. And just like how men can be like, women keep dating the same guys, the same type of guys, and getting their heart broken. Men do that too. They go for the baddies. They go for the this. They go for the girl that looks, and they overlook the nice, simple woman that could just be who they looking for. Right?
Hold on. I want to keep it there real quick. I agree with you. But again, when we have these nice, simple women and we ask them, how can men meet you Oh, I'm always in my crib. I don't be outside like that. So
But what's
again,
wrong with
now
that?
we have to use the dating apps to get you because you're not in the real world. We don't see you on a regular basis because you're a homebody. You're not outside. Like maybe I can see if I work with you, maybe. You know what I mean?
That's
But the
true.
majority of men don't work with you. So again, I agree with you. But when we're asking where do quality men and or women go to find each
Museums,
other?
You know what the thing is? Everybody
bookstores.
wants to make rules and make what is subjective to them and their opinions. It's not gospel. It's not. I'm not trying to discredit anything Tiara's saying. I do agree with some of your points, but at the end of the day, everybody has too much expectations, like too many expectations. Nothing is just like be yourself. Let the person like you for you. You can be the right person for the wrong person, but don't let that change how you go about looking or being open to somebody else that you might meet. And that might be tough because like women, we get hurt, we'll shut down. Men, they get hurt, you guys can shut down, and you guys can also be, a-holes to the next woman because you're cold. But at the end of the day, it's like there's no rules to this. There's no rules to how to find your person. There's no rules to do what works, how you feel compelled to treat someone. I might meet somebody and I like to cook, and I'm like, you know what? Hey, I want to come to your house and I want to make us a nice meal. And I want to do this and I want to have that and I want to cook for you. And he could just be like, no, let's go out to a restaurant. But then there is the other girls that's just like, no, you got to take me to the 5-star. You got to take me fine dining, all that. Does that mean that there's just not two different type of people that he's dating, but he's going to pick the one that saves him money? No, it doesn't necessarily mean that, because maybe that's not what he's looking for. My point is there's just no rules. And I feel like everybody's just trying to follow rules and all these things. Just do what works for you. I'm going to be myself to somebody. And if he don't like me for me, next. Vice versa. Just stop with all of the extra. Don't expect this. Don't do this. Don't do that too soon. It's people meet people. They have sex on the first date, second date, and they're married 30, 40 years.
Men need to stop wasting
apply.
time. Men need to stop wasting time. They date, they got a girl, and they don't work on themselves at all. They spend all their time with the lady. They haven't worked on themselves. They ain't worked out. They ain't got no money. They spend all their time with this lady. That's not your wife. You need to be working on yourself. And then by the time the relationship over, she left and you ain't done nothing for yourself. So while you dating, you in a relationship, you need to be working on yourself. Still building yourself up. Like time, manage your time. Time's the most valuable thing we got right now, for real.
Right, and men have these expectations of what they want their woman to look like and how she should keep herself, and he don't be keeping himself, and that's not fair. You want a lot of men. I can see them in the comments, especially on the shade room. They're the first to comment on about a lady's hair, about her weight, about her this, about her that, and that man never worked out a day in his life. Looking crazy.
That's a fair point. I agree with you, but again, we do understand that men are much more visual creatures, and women are not, and we know this because if a man has the right resources, women will overlook all of the obviously physical attraction, which is why you see people like Rick Ross with some of the most gorgeous women, or you see a lot of out of shape men with some of the most gorgeous women. Women tend to prioritize, obviously financial stability and other resources aside from looks. You get what I'm saying? Whereas men, there is a big emphasis on our end, which could be a detriment, but we do, prioritize beauty and looks, you know what I mean, much more than we do other, factors. You get what I'm saying? So to me, that is a little bit of a false.
I think when you get older, you change that though.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a false equivalency, but I do understand where you come from. And even what Jay said, I understand where he's come from as well. I do want to get to Nikki real quick. I want to ask you this question before we move on to obviously our last topic before we get up out of here. Do you think there's a gender war going on right now?
I do. Like Jay was saying, it's definitely a battle in relationships, especially in marriage. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of strife, especially I know in finances. I feel like I brought this up earlier, but finances, especially and I said it earlier, if a woman is carrying a majority of the bills in the house, I think And a lot of men use the word feminine, like masculine. A lot of women can be masculine, giving off masculine energy. And I think a woman who gives off this masculine energy is a woman who speaks up, or a woman who says her word, or a woman that's bitter is so called. And so I feel like in marriages, there is a gender war, especially if a woman is providing majority of the finance in the house.
I don't think it's majority. I said 10%. They putting in 10%. They laying down the
As
law.
soon as they put in a little bit of money, then it's automatically like, I got to question everything.
I'm putting in half.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I agree. I agree with everybody's. Everybody has a valid opinion.
Can I address one of the super chats?
Which one?
Because apparently my vagina is up for discussion. You know, which I don't know who raised you, because that's kind of uncouth. But I did not say that I didn't have sex with him for 7 years. But we also live in the generation where people feel as if because you've had kids or because you've had sex before, that you don't have the right to take your body off the table. I've always been the type of woman that my body belongs to me and me alone. And any man that has ever entered into my presence, that's just what it's going to be. And if that's not what you are down for, then that's completely fine. But yeah. It's possible to not have sex and somebody propose to you. It's very possible.
No, that's fair. I am, one of the people that and like I said, a woman has the right to do whatever she wants with her body. But if you making another man wait for something like that another man got for half off, it's like, it's just a little bit, to me, is a bit.
But that's dick watching. Why we watching what another man did with me in the past? Like, that's gay. That's homo. Because it don't matter. Like, if I decided to, because it is. That's exactly what it is. It's dick watching. You're worried about another man blowing my back out. You're worried about another man
like
blowing my back out. Not like just in general. This is how I feel. Maybe this is just the west side of Chicago. You should not be worried about if another man blew my back out. You should be worried about what we have going on.
No, it's not about if he blew your back out. It's about that he got your body for less than you're making me do for more.
And somebody else got your body. But okay, and you're here now. We're grown. All of us have had sex
I'm not here
before.
now. Like maybe somebody else.
All of us have had sex before. So now because I've had sex with somebody else, I'm obligated to have sex with you. That sounds crazy.
I don't think it's
not an obligation.
I don't think it's
right. It's not an obligation. That's the dynamic of our relationship. And if you enter into a relationship and you want something serious, and we're saying we're entering into something serious, when we were moving that, and that was the dynamic of that relationship. And somebody else asked why I didn't last. He's a Christian. I'm not a Christian anymore. I don't go to church on Sundays. So he's a good guy, but no, even after we ended our relationship, he waited for 5 years to move on, to be with somebody else who he's divorced from. So, and it's because I am a woman that has self-control to be able to say, it's not that I'm not sleeping with you. I'm not having sex right now. And this has absolutely nothing to do with you. And if you decide to enter into my life in this space, then you have to respect my boundaries. Because when we go into relationships and we put sex at the forefront, this is how things get jaded. And so if I'm honoring myself and if I'm honoring you to actually get to know you on an intimate level, there are men who don't even want to have sex. He wasn't on that. This is somebody that's a pastor now. So like,
can I ask you a question outside of that? Like, well, dealing with that, like, so if that was your stance, and I don't have a problem with waiting, but would you have a problem if I was doing my thing on the side, but we were still working on?
No, because it's not my business. That's my whole thing, right?
Yeah.
When me and him, he entered into my life. I was 2 years into my celibacy.
Yeah,
like I wasn't dating nobody. I wasn't.
I'm not questioning your celibacy.
Right, no, because it's not my business. Like I'm also the type of woman. If we're single and we just talking and we getting to know each other, I don't care if you having sex with somebody else because you're not having sex with me. And even if I'm having sex with you and you're having sex with somebody else, you are not my man. What you do has absolutely nothing to do with me. But that's because I'm an actual adult.
Why am I not your man because you're practicing celibacy? I'm with you. You get what I'm saying? I'm with you.
Well, when we were in that relationship, both of us were celibate at that point. He wasn't having sex. So it's not like he just came fresh off the street and I made him be like, oh, I'm taking this away. This is a choice.
Yeah.
It's always a choice.
So is the choices when talking to a person as, because I'm not just saying for you and I'm just saying like people that celibate. If a person is talking to a person that's celibate that takes that commitment, when I'm now talking to that person, does that mean I have to join that commitment, or
that's between however y'all decide to handle that? If you're talking to a person, you're not obligated to join that commitment. But you can't expect somebody to cross their boundaries because you don't have the same boundaries at that point. That's when you go and move along. Like if you know, like, nah, this ain't for me, I'm not willing to wait, or I'm gonna just wait long enough so I could get the draws, then don't do it, because that person made that decision for themselves. And we be feeling obligated to have other people's bodies. And that's just the weirdest thing I have ever seen in my life. Like,
do you disclose that information? Like, when do you disclose that information that you celibate, you waiting for whatever you waiting for?
I can't hear you.
I was in I was in ministry, really heavy at that point. So it was just kind of like assumed, you know, like
I met in the church or whatever, like.
Yeah, we went to high school together, but yeah, like, so he had been knowing me, but it was just kind of like an assumption, because when I'm single, y'all, I don't date. I'm one of those women that Eli talking about. Like, I'm not going outside. I'm not mixy. I'm not nothing. I'll, take myself out to brunch or a museum, but when I'm by myself, I'm just completely by myself. I don't play like that. So like the men that know me, they know this already. They already know, like, if I'm coming at her, I need to either come at her something serious. She ain't doing that no more. Like, I'm not a kid. So it just be different.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you just gotta, like she said, it's a decision. If you want to sign up for that, then you sign up for it. If it ain't for you, it ain't for you. Like, that's it.
Yeah. And like I said, I respect everybody's opinion, and I push back just for dialogue's sake, right? But again, when we, even outside of sex, right? I've heard women say, "Yo, I used to be submissive, I used to be feminine for my man because of X, Y, and Z, now I'm not that," or whatever the case is. So again, you gave that man the best part of you, but now when I come into your life, that I didn't do anything wrong to you, now I have to work 3 times harder to get basic features that other men have gotten in the past. And that's regardless of sex, you know what I mean? That could be anything. Like, you get what I'm saying? I think that's what some men are expressing their issues with. I'm not saying all men, but some men are like, damn, well, he got the best part of you for, I'm not even saying for a little, but he didn't have to really work as hard as I do. Now I got to do all of this.
I used to cook for my last man, but he walked out my life.
Yeah, now I'm never cooking for a man to get, like, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's for all women, but that is some of the rhetoric that some men are hearing nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, and they finding it, that's unfair. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, but listen, I do want to we got any super chats before we get into this last topic?
Yeah, we got a couple. Chip Osario said married for 20 years. Wife is from Zanzibar and she makes $240K a year. Despite being a high earner in corporate America, she still handles her role as a wife, mother, cooks, cleans, etc. What happened to modern women?
Yo, if Chip is still here, like, does she contribute to like the finances, and are you looked at as any less? I ain't gonna hold you. My lady makes very close to what I make, and she gonna send that bread.
240K, yeah.
Not similar to that bread. She ain't getting that.
She's similar to what like, I ain't going.
Yeah, she gonna send them ducats, man. We got kids.
David R said to Tiara, "You made a." Oh,
that's sure it is.
Robert Anderson said that's like you going into a restaurant and before you can order and eat your meal, you have to pay for the customer that dined and dashed before you got there.
That's a little extreme. Come on, Robert.
That's how people be sleeping with women. That's like a lot of men sleep with women behind other men. You got to get it because somebody else did.
Yeah,
that's nasty.
Tira said that's dick watching though. That shit.
It is.
I think that's pussy watching. I ain't gonna.
Listen, man. Before we get into this last topic, make sure y'all hit that like button if y'all enjoying the conversation. Share this out on social media. Make sure to put everybody's Instagram, TikToks in the description. Join the membership, man. A lot of exclusive content. We got part 2 of that Umar episode. We got Outside with Ace up there. That's a new segment we started up. We got a lot of behind the scenes and exclusive content for y'all to cop the merch, Dailyrapupcrew.co. We got a new episode tomorrow, today. My fault. We usually don't be on this late, you know what I mean? So we got a new episode coming out today, 4 p.m. Make sure y'all tune in. Obviously, we always 4 p.m. I'll be changing the times, you know what I'm saying? So
Jesus.
Yeah. So
excuse me.
Yeah. So make sure y'all tune in and for that conversation. So again, I do want to get into this video. This video has been making the rounds on TikTok. I feel like every time I go to TikTok, I see somebody explaining why he's wrong or he's right. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm gonna play the video, but just to explain, this is a guy who was on the show, and he had a preference for not dating women with kids. He doesn't have kids. He doesn't want to date a woman with kids.
Go to that super chat before you start it.
Let me see.
Osario said, yes, she buys groceries and our kids' clothes, etc. Most of her money goes into the savings account. I pay the majority of the bills. Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna play this video for y'all. It's about 3 minutes. But it's pretty interesting, and then we're gonna come back and then react to it.
He may have maturity. I felt like you don't have authority.
Y'all can hear this?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Responsibility, but no authority. That's what I feel.
Those are some strong words. But Joya,
yes,
you didn't ask for another date with him. What was the turnoff?
Specifically, the turnoff was when I asked that question about would you date a single mother? And Jacoby, you proceeded to tell me that basically you're a high value man and you are too good for a single mother. However, you did also tell me that you were raised by a single mother, which is profound for me to think that a single mother's not good enough for you, but it's good enough for a woman to raise you. That's unfair. And it's very insensitive to women out there who have children.
All right, so just because it's a cycle, I wanted to continue.
It doesn't have to continue.
So what I'm saying is that
it's more about why would you cut off and say that single women are not on the same level?
What you're supposed to learn from is history. So
you're a very intelligent
woman. You're a very intelligent woman, right?
Yes.
So if as a woman growing up, it's the less likelihood for you to be successful by having a child. So what you do, you be more proactive. Using condoms.
What's that got to do with your choice?
Okay, if you're getting pregnant, then all right, cool. Maybe I shouldn't continue having this child because I'm not getting married. I a better chance of me having a successful life.
You're speaking of me.
That's what I'm thinking.
So you were raised by a single mother.
Yes.
Is your mother still alive?
I struggled. My mom's still alive.
Did she struggle or did you struggle?
Both of us struggled.
Okay, so your words that echoed all around social media, and I want to make sure that we have this clearly, were, I'm a high value man. I've done things to step up my echelon, and I'm not going to settle for a single mother.
Yeah,
did I have that correctly? I want to be clear.
Yeah, we sell it.
Right. So what makes you think you're a high value man? The car you drive?
No, the value I put out into the world.
What about your character?
I have great character. I've built myself to basically have better choices. You want to know why? Because women can choose and make a choice.
They can.
They can say, I don't want to date a man that makes less than 6 figures.
They can.
And then what are you doing? You're
demeaning a man. But we're not talking about that. That's not the situation that
that's not the conversation. Can say, I won't date a man less than 5'8", and the man could be 5'4". Do they care about
what does that have to do
ostracizing all of those
with
men?
anything?
If a fat man is sitting here, he can be a fat man, right? But if a fat woman is sitting here, you would say, oh no, we're body positive. Oh no, we can't say that. We can't. It's all about picking her up. So every time it's saying something for a man,
bro,
it's down.
You got a lot on your back.
Yeah,
okay. Man. So what I want to be clear, not just for you, but for everybody out there, is the car you drive, your resume, your bank account, your accolades is not what makes you a high value man. We are all defined by the sum of our deeds and our character. And you, brother, are coming up to the sum of 0.
Amen.
Outrageous.
He was preaching on that shit. I ain't gonna.
Yo, Jay, man. let me start off with Jay. What's your thoughts on this? Did you see this? You seen this video circulating on TikTok?
Yeah.
What was your initial thoughts when you seen this video?
I'm like, well, he on the Oprah network, so this is what the outcome I expected. It's more geared for the ladies. So like they're not gonna agree with him. Obviously, they're gonna, women always try to come to the woman's aid. Like, to be honest, especially on the Oprah network. In my opinion, would I date a single mom? No. Should you date a single mom? No. Do you really want the responsibility of raising another man's child? I don't think you do. I came from a single mom. I'm telling you right now, I used to fight my stepdad all the time, like literally like punch him in the face. You're not my dad. You're not my dad. Like, this is gonna be a problem. This is a reality. The baby daddy can come back at any time and come get some pom pom. Like that happens all the time. Leave somebody on the dresser and dip. It's for real. That happens all the time.
Leave the money on the dresser
and dip. They buy the kids and dip. I would not like. That's the outcome I expected. A lot of gaslighting. A lot of just trying to say that he's wrong. I agree with him. I think he's right, man. I wouldn't. He's a high value man. A lot of things that they say is high value, he got. And then they try to flip it and say, "Oh, that's not high value. Your car's not high value." But why y'all like cars? Your house ain't high value. Now they're trying to flip it when it doesn't suit their narrative. So that's what I think.
Now all of a sudden it's about character.
Yeah, now it's about who you are as a man. Like, nah, bro, get out of here.
He just expressed that if he was a man that was 5'4", they wouldn't give a F about that man. About his character. So, and then they went right. What? That's not the same.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And Tiara, I do want to save you for last. So I'm gonna get to Nikki. Nikki, what is your thoughts on this video?
Honestly, I agree with Jay. In the video itself, I think he made a lot of good points. If like what you just brought up about height, and if we brought up a woman doesn't want to talk to a man who is this short, or if he doesn't have X amount of money, and then if a man says, I don't want to talk to a single mother. I mean, there's a lot of men who would, but just because he doesn't want to, it's a preference. Everyone's different. You just, as a single mother, if you do have kids, you just got to find that man that doesn't mind taking on that responsibility. And I think he's not wrong for saying that, because if I'm single, and I honestly wouldn't talk to a man with kids, because I'm single, I don't have kids, and honestly I wouldn't talk to a man who has kids, because I don't want to play stepmother, and that can sound bad, all it is, but I don't want to.
I'm gonna tell you, as a man, we're not mad that you're saying that. We think that you're actually smart for saying that. We don't feel like you're any less of a woman for making the decision of not taking the obligation of being a parent to somebody else's child.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of women won't admit to that. Like, maybe we will, but a lot don't want to admit to that, because if the roles were reversed, I feel like a woman or that's in a man's shoes wouldn't. Maybe they will, but like I said, I'm speaking for myself. I wouldn't want that responsibility.
Okay, what's your thoughts on this?
You already know that I got my daughter, so you know what, he has valid points. It's just his delivery is just really bad. Everybody has their preference. Me, I work.
Leave that, because we need to understand what was wrong with his delivery.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he was just like,
said it, where it was like,
he was a little aggressive. Like, I mean, he has his valid points, so stand on it. Like,
he was aggressive.
My
was he aggressive, or was the responders aggressive?
Yo, the women were way more aggressive than he was. That's a fact.
Well, they have some, I never watched what led up to it, which is like the show or whatever. So maybe they have that little tension going on, so you could see where that was coming from. That's what I meant. So maybe that's what that was. But for me, I really, as a divorced individual with a child, me dating or whatever, whomever I'm talking to, I'm not looking for a father figure for my child. I'm not looking for a supporter. Financially, I take care of my child. Her dad is active. I'm not a single mom. I'm a single parent household member. So I'm never worried about finances and my daughter. What I look for is someone that I can trust to be around my child in the future, somebody that could be a good role model for my child, and I don't even need somebody to hold me down as an individual. So I'm not looking for somebody to take care of my kid. So that conversation is for people. I personally never had a like I've said before on the show, like I would date someone that already has a child because I don't necessarily know if I want any more children. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter to me whether they have a child. It mostly matters if they don't have a child at this point. But like I said, with things like these, it depends on where you are in your life. If you're a young single man and you don't want somebody with a child, nothing is wrong with that. And vice versa. If a young woman doesn't want a man with a child, nothing is wrong with that. But I also did not, to be fair, I didn't like how the host made it seem like, what he was saying wasn't valid. If he does look at himself as a high valued man, that is subjective. Maybe, like I said, you know how it is with women, maybe how it came across. But I'm personally not looking for a baby daddy or somebody to take care of me and my child. We are perfectly fine. I'm looking at somebody that their character and somebody that is trustworthy, and we could build from there. I've not had an issue, knock on wood, with anyone not wanting to date me because I have a child already, because maybe I display that we don't need that over here. Like with that, we're good. And it's just me
Do
and
you
my
tell them
character.
that you don't want to have a child as well anymore? Because I think that'd be the most scariest part for like a single man without a child. Date a woman that don't want a child.
I'm not saying I said I might not want to, and whomever I talk to, I've always said that in the beginning. So that's your choice if you want to keep talking to me. I'm not sure if I want to have any more children.
That's scary because I don't want to take the gambling chance of raising somebody else's legacy and not being able to have access to my own.
Okay, and that's fine. But like I said, it's not something that's off the table. But it's not like
it's more like once you say it's not off the table, but it's not on the table either. You get what I'm saying? Like,
first of all, I'm not just gonna. My daughter was never born out of wedlock. Let's start there. And two, I'm not gonna jump to just go have a child with someone because of what I need to see how you are as a person first 100%. Before I'm like, yeah. So there has to be certain things in place before I can be like, yeah, I'm ready to go have another child with someone. Just like how a man watches to see, does this lady know how to raise kids?
Okay, it's a difference for saying. It's a difference saying, I'm willing to have a child if I get married again. Yeah. Then I don't know if I might have a child or I might not have a child. It's two different things.
I want to make sure. Well, so there has to be certain things in place with the person I'm with that will make my decision to want to have another child be more.
That's still a gambling choice. You get what I'm saying? I'd rather you say, if we get married and I'm happy, we can have another child if that's what you want.
But that's still a gamble because, like, what if I'm not happy? I'm not gonna get married. So now you're wasting. You're wasting time.
Why would we get married?
He needs to show me that if we have a child together, we'll be okay. A lot of men these days, not because not because a man is like, a lot of men have children because their biological clock is ticking. Also, the friends are having kids. The friends are
having
married.
Kids at 80. Yeah, Al Pacino just had a baby at 85 or something. Al Pacino, he just had a kid.
Really?
Last year, he had 2 kids back to back in 2 years in his 80s. My grandfather had twins at 56.
That's
I got a little uncle. I got a little uncle at home.
Okay, let me ask you a question. So if you get married, you definitely having another child?
If I get remarried, would I have another child?
Yeah.
Like I said, I want to get to know my person before we even get married. And if I see certain attributes, yeah, of course.
If you get married, that means you saw all of that in that person.
Okay.
Right? So are you definitely having another child? That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay.
Bro, stop pressuring this woman. She don't want no more kids, man. Stop pressuring her, man.
It's not a pressure. I'm just saying,
as a single man with no kids, if I'm talking to a shorty and she telling me that I don't know if I want to have kids, that's a red I want to have multiple kids. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, I don't know if this is gonna work.
And that's fine. There are couples out there where they started out where the woman told the man, like, I'm not having any more children at all, and that's it. And they stuck together, and she still ended up having a child.
But I ain't willing to take that.
That's why I said stay in your dating lane. I never said I never having any more. If I was 10 toes down, this conversation would have ended like two minutes ago. Like, no. It's on the table, but like I said, being divorced and knowing how it is to raise a child and certain things, and I don't want another broken home. I don't want a situation of that. I need to make sure everything is here and we're on the same wavelength, and then boom, yes.
Okay. All right, Tiara, what are your thoughts on this whole video on the situation?
I agree with him 100%. I'm gonna just put an asterisk there, only by saying when people in general say that they're too good. That's to say that it's indicative of another person's character and that you're too good for them. It is a curse, and it's a curse that's been perpetuated for a very, very long time. And a curse that I've contributed to having me and my children become statistics. My mom and my grandmother were both single mothers. And so I grew up in a blended household around me. So when Jay said that he had a stepfather that he was going toe to toe with, like, that was crazy to me because I wish my son would. I wish my son would. Both of my children know. And see, I'm the opposite when it comes to that. Me and my children are a package deal because when I get married, this is that man's house and everything will fall in line and under submission to him and his authority. And so, but I do not think that men who don't have children, you should not date a woman with children if you do not want to, because it is a lot of work. Some of these kids don't have fathers in the home, so they don't know what authority looks like. It is not your responsibility to take on a household that you did not create. So he is not wrong, but it's also a fallacy that single moms aren't hypergamous, because I mean we can have some real conversations. We can have some real conversations, and I'm not talking flukes. I'm talking like lifestyles, and I know that there are exceptions to rules, but men, if y'all don't have children and that's something that you feel like you do not want to engage in, you 100% have that right. As a single mother, I have told men younger than me and even my age, I have told young men, we can't do that because this isn't something that you're ready for. This isn't what you need. I have told men that, like, no, you have to be able to, as a woman, to have enough integrity in you to know what type of men are even coming after you. But he's correct to feel how he feels. Why would he want to perpetuate something that he grew up in? I wouldn't want my son dating a single mother.
Why do you think there's always that shaming tactic there? Like the first rebuttal is your mother is a single mother. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, because
always your mother this, your mother that. Like, so therefore you should tolerate certain behavior.
Well, because the way that the tone and the tenor of a lot of comments come off, it comes off as a disdain for single mothers. And so that's why some women say it sounds like there's some hurt there. And I'm not saying him, because I felt like he was caught off guard. So to me, that his reaction was just a natural reaction. I don't think he sounded hurt. He didn't sound bruised, but there are some men who hate their mamas. And so there's a disdain for single mothers. And honestly, a lot of us have earned it because a lot of us do down our sons and make them pay for what their fathers didn't do, or you look just like your daddy, or try to make them the husbands and all this other stuff. I make my son know you are a child. You are the bottom of the totem pole in this house. You don't run anything but your bowels and your mouth. That's it. You a kid. And because I have dated men, the young man that I was engaged to, his mom and his dad were married before, but they were separated, living in different households. She treated him like a husband. And so for me, I was like, ooh, I had to tell my father, like, this not going to work, because I saw that dynamic, and that helped me to not become that with me and my son, because it's disgusting.
Okay, yo, Ace Jew, man, what's your takes on this video?
I obviously agree with the guy in the video. I thought the host and the other woman was triggered, so that they were speaking from a hurt place. I guess the comment that started it off was I've worked to make myself a high value man, so I won't date a single mom. That's what the comment was, right? When a man works to lift himself up, that usually means that he has more options, right? If you got the bulk of the options, that means you have to pick a litter. You could pick and choose who you want. You know what I mean, so if you could pick and choose who you want, you more than likely not gonna put yourself in a situation where it's gonna be more difficult than it has to be. You know what I mean? So I didn't think he was wrong in saying that. I understood what he was saying with the double standards. When there's women, we try to coddle women when it comes to certain situations like weight, you know what I mean, single mothers and these kind of things. And when if it's on the flip side, you know what I mean, men don't get the same grace. So I understand what you're saying. He was really speaking facts, but like Jay said, because of the network he was on is meant to cater to women, they really was really trying to shun him. And I ain't like how he put his head down when he was talking to him. Like, nah, I mean, if you want to say something, hold your head high and say it with your chest. Nah, I mean, I ain't like how he used his demeanor when he was saying it. Like,
I understand because there were two other men in that room, and they act like they didn't acknowledge what he was experiencing or what he was.
They were
about to. They were about to. Hold on, brother. They hit him with one of those. You get what I'm saying? And R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. I will put those women on a lie detector test, but Kevin Samuels did it great when he spoke to a mother, and he asked, "Would you want your children to date a woman that had two kids like you?" And she said no. You get what I'm saying? So majority, 9 times out of 10, if you ask all our parents, if we ask Nikki, if we ask your parents, okay, if we ask you for your son, would you rather him meet a woman that got kids or don't got kids? We will all select, if they don't have kids, to not be with somebody else that have one. So this is just our natural instinct. Not saying they could be a great person, but ultimately you will want your child to build a legacy with a person that they're both starting off fresh with. You get what I'm saying? So if that's not an option, I can see whatever you do. You get what I'm saying? But ultimately, the first reaction for everybody is to build a legacy with somebody that also doesn't have anything yet either.
And that's what I was saying. Like, I would not say to someone like in the beginning stages, like, because I see like the comments is going crazy as usual because they obviously don't listen and they don't listen with comprehension. Clearly, I never said I would date somebody and be like, oh, I'm not having more kids, but we're in this together. You have the option. This is said in the beginning, like, hey, I'm not sure. That's why you date people. And the more I see certain attributes and the more I see like, okay, we're going places and this is what it is, then that barrier breaks down. And now I see you as a husband. I see you as the father of my child. Just it's the same, it's reversed. And I noticed like there are a lot of men in the comments all the time on whether it's here or even like just with other posts and stuff. They have a lot to say and they act like they're perfect. It's the same ones that out there that needs healing and they need love because the way how they talk about women and the opinion is almost like it's gospel. It's not gospel. People go through things in life. You come on and you commenting on somebody, you don't know their life. You don't know why somebody broke up with someone. Like nobody goes around saying I want to have a broken home. Nobody goes into a marriage and have children saying I'm gonna leave. Oh, as things get hot, things happen and people don't work out. It doesn't mean that somebody intentionally broke a home. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if y'all are perfect, good luck with that. But try to understand that you don't know people when you come onto certain platforms. You are all a part of just like sharing our views and sometimes we let a little bit of our personal lives just to prove a point, but it's not gospel. You don't know the half. You don't even know anything that happens. Stop judging people because like when you do stuff like that, other people out there might take it to heart. Not to me. I do not care. I know what my situation was and why my divorce ended and why I'm saying right now I'm not jumping into like I want to have another child right now, right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's not me saying I will never have. And I'm also a person that's pro-choice. If you come into a situation with me and I'm saying right now I'm not sure if I want to have another child, that's it. You can leave. There's no strings that go.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I understand what you're saying. The only disconnect, and I'm not saying you're wrong for what you're saying, but that's like when you're talking to a woman and she says, I'm independent and I don't really need a man, but we could talk on it and let's get to know each other. Like, ultimately, you know yourself that you may not want another child. You bring that up to a man, but when you're bringing it up as your first thing, like, well, I have a kid, I'm not sure if I want another kid. That's not the delivery on how you were speaking on that man's delivery and your delivery and approach to a man. He doesn't want to hear you say it like that to him.
Mm-hmm.
Half the time when you meet a guy and they're like, oh, and you say you have a child already, they're like, do you want to have more children? It always starts off like that.
Well,
and then we have the conversation.
And the right thing is, which is the same answer, if I find the right man and he wants a child, I'm willing to do that. That's the same words, different way. I just gave you the same words. I just gave you a different way of saying it. You get what I'm saying? So that made that man feel comfortable. Like, you know what? If she's the right woman, hopefully we could have another. I rather hear what I just said than you saying, I don't know. I don't think I want another kid. Maybe if the right man coming along. That doesn't sound like what I want to hear, honestly.
But when I said it's not off the table, you said don't say like that. But it's basically like the same thing. It's like it's not like
he's teaching you how men hear. Men hear totally different than
okay. I will say like that. But like I said, I've never had an issue so far. But I will in the future. I will use
women
that.
say all the time, I never had a problem paying my bills. I'm strong and I'm independent. Men don't want to hear that. We say that all the time.
That's a different topic. I'm not.
It's very similar to what you're saying. Oh, okay. I already got a kid. I don't know if I want another one. You get it's very similar. I'm telling you, it's very similar.
It's what he's saying is, you know how they always say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
I get it.
What he's saying, it sounds more positive than when you say it. When you say it, it sounds really negative.
What I say, Ace? What I say?
You said I don't know. You said I don't know if I want to have kids. Well, if I want to have another kid, that's what you said. I don't know if I want to have another kid. So to me, I'm hearing, damn, this is
closer to a no.
There's a big chance.
Eli's scratching the back of his head. He's ready for us to wrap this up.
No. I'm curious. I'm enjoying the conversation.
So what I'm hearing from that is, then there's a good chance that she might not want to have another kid, even if I am that man for her.
I have said that though. Like I've actually said, you're
not gonna get it.
Depending on how the situation. I get it. No, I get it. And I like I said, and you see, that's the thing with y'all, man. Like you don't hear when we actually take accountability and say, I will say it how you said it. Did I not say that, you?
No, you said I already said
you
that. I already said that.
But then I said I would try it your way. I will try it your way. I would say like that.
But do you see the difference in what you said and what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I see the difference.
All right. Yo, and we had when y'all become a member and get that Umar episode, because we had some similar to the very same conversation, and it got him and Eli's about to throw the hands. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, we definitely throw the hands.
So Eli, what's your opinion on this topic here?
My name Ace. Yeah, I said everything already. Now, but just realistically, I'm under the same boat because I don't have kids and I prefer to not date women with kids. I have done it in the past. It just wasn't for me. You know what I mean? And I just prefer to date a woman that doesn't have kids. You know what I mean? But again, often when I express that, especially on this podcast, the women will tear me up. And then the first thing they're going to say is, yo, your mama was a single woman. You know what I mean? There's always that shaming tactics. And I can call my mom right now. My mom would tell me she don't, my mom is the type to be like, son, whatever makes you happy. But we all had conversations. If she had to choose, she would prefer me not to date a woman with kids. Like, you know what I mean? As my first option. You know what I mean? Obviously, if I'm happy, she's going to be happy, whatever the case is. But like Drew said, we had women on our own platform who have children, have sons. And then we asked them, yo, would you want your son that worked hard, made a living for himself to date a single mother? And absolutely, without no hesitation, they're like, no, hell no. Like, they don't even realize they saying it so quickly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, nah, I would not want that. So we understand usually we understand that, when the roles is reversed, women wouldn't want their sons to date that. But unfortunately, I think because, Black men historically have been the poster child for stepchildren, that, now that men are having standards and saying, you know what, I don't want to date a woman with kids. That's just my preference. There's so much pushback on it because we have, been the poster child for stepchildren. So usually anytime a man expresses his preference, and I think that's what he was trying to get at, even though I thought that he could have articulated himself a bit better. You know what I mean? It did sound like because
with six people like
no, I understand it. He got defensive because they got defensive. So now he was like, you know what I mean? So I think he could have
been a little bit more.
He could have said it more with his chest instead of looking down. He almost looked ashamed that, you know what I mean?
He had his head down, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but again, when men have preference, whether it's the body type of a woman, the femininity of anytime we have a preference is often shamed. But we have to hear women talk about their preferences all day. Whether he got to be 6 feet, he got to make 100K, he got to have his own business, he got to have a 6-pack, we got to hear women constantly brag about their preference in a man. And as men, there are some men who are complaining, obviously, but there's some men like myself who be like, okay, well, I got to step my shit up. Like, you know what I mean? I'm in the gym right now, not necessarily because of a woman, but I do understand that if I put myself together, I'm gonna attract more quality women. Like, you get what I'm saying?
So that BBL.
Stop it. You know what I mean? So I understand there's certain things. I hear women, okay, I need to make a certain amount of money. You know what I mean? Me, Ace, and Jew have put ourselves in position where we are, in that position. Now, we're not the richest, obviously, but we are way better off than a high percentage of men out here. So, with that being said, we have taken into consideration what, women have always, preferred, and to make my dating options a lot more available, not only to just Black women, even though I love Black women, I'm a married Black woman, I said on the show, but just in general, I try to put myself in the best position possible to have as many dating options. And, I think women should do the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? Whether it's obviously your situation is different because you didn't have a child out of wedlock. You actually were married. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
you did the right thing. Right?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So your situation is a little bit different, but I don't think a man should be shamed for his preference. And I definitely don't think his mom should always
nor a woman.
Or a woman, and I don't think their moms should be brung into this every time a man has a preference or a dislike in something. Like, you know what I mean? So it is what it. Let us know in the comments what y'all think, man. Like, you know what I mean? But again, I enjoyed this conversation. It was a dope conversation. I got to hear everybody's perspectives. I appreciate everybody's perspectives. Whether we agree, disagree, I could come out and learn something from everybody's perspective and take that into consideration. Kay, again, let them know where they can follow you at.
Kazish on Instagram.
Okay. Tierra, again, let them know. Tierra, y'all don't be known, but Tierra really be supporting us. She really mess with us. She's always, there to participate on the panels. She pulling up to New York. We might have to do that episode.
We about to have a lit show with Tierra.
You know what I mean? So we appreciate you, Tierra, and your input, because you have a lot of insight on things that I'm not privy to. Like, you taught me something today about obviously women working, Black women specifically. You know what I mean? That I didn't know, and I'm open to always learning more things. But again, let them know where they go follow you at.
Thank you for that, and thank you for having me, guys. Tierra_holiday on Instagram, and I also have a YouTube, Jacolia's Gems, where I talk about a lot of history and Black history and historical facts and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure to put that in the description so people can check you out.
Don't forget to send that link to it.
Okay.
Jay, again, man, appreciate you for pulling up. Let them know where they can follow you at.
IG J Stanza _ TikTok Weatherman _J. You already know what's up. Dating advice, relationship advice, all that. I got you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna have the link when we come to Atlanta again, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to show
I'm
us.
gonna be in Atlanta this weekend.
You got a world tour going on right now. What's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, last but not least, Nikki. Let them know again where they can follow you at.
Yes, my IG, Nikki McDonald _25, and TikTok, Nikki TV _ 2.0. I'm also based in Atlanta doing relationship dating advice on my TikTok page, so y'all can check that out too.
Hey, yo, make sure y'all check them out on TikTok. They got some very good videos, quality videos. You could be there. Honestly, you could be there all day just watching all their videos. They got a great platform over there. So make sure y'all show them some love and support.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate that.
For sure. So again, we gonna dang, I hate when they go do that. Yeah, like I said, man, I thought that was a great conversation, man. I always enjoy these live streams because, you know, we get to hear different perspectives and, you know, we don't always agree, you know what I mean? And that's cool. I don't expect everybody to agree with every stance, you know what I mean? But as long as we come, you know, take some, you know, notes away from it, you know what I mean? And, you know, we can move forward. So
yeah, we got some super chats before we go out. Got Cali Swag. Shout out to Cali Swag. You know what I mean? BY says she still wanted that guy too.
The girl in the video.
Oh, okay, yeah, true. What show was that, by the way? I know what show that was.
I don't even know that. I think it was. Well, they keep saying put a ring on it. I guess it's maybe like some.
It already dropped, or that's the promo to make you watch
it. That looked like the reunion. So
that,
like, that probably is a whole series. Like we might have to do a reaction video to that shit. So.
What?
Now I don't once the guests leave.
Nah, my boy, we ain't say it's over. Take that shot.
That's crazy. Like,
yo, Anthony W says she taking that BS. If a man dating you is a package deal, man should date women with kids. She's real defensive. I guess she talking about Tierra. Well, she talking big cat. Men with no kids should never date women with kids. It's no benefit for men. Okay.
I hear a lot of men say that.
Shout out to the men that do it. You know, I do think that some of these kids do need a father figure in their life. You know what I'm saying? So, man, shout out to the men that.
Shout out to the step. I know I had a step.
We're not downplaying people that take on that role. Yeah, I mean, we're just saying that it ain't for everybody.
It's not for everybody. Like I said, I had a stepfather. You know, growing up, and you know, he's the only father figure I knew, and he was, you know, we actually going, you know, look out for that episode, man. We're gonna have a special episode coming up. But shout out to the stepfathers, man. But again, it's not for everybody.
It ain't for everybody, man. Marriage, politics, and sports. That single childless men should never feel pressed to marry a single mom. However, he should not be trying to smash her either without telling her the truth. That is also true, man.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
We got the black intellectual back in the building. He said no other race of men are expected to be stepdads. Also, no other race prefer. What's PF?
I think.
No. Also, no other race. PF men are ashamed.
No race of men.
Okay. No other race of men are ashamed for not wanting to be a stepdad. Yo, it's late. I can't be sending super chats with typos, man. Like it's too late for this.
I mean that is fair, but statistically speaking, and a lot of people don't notice that, but there are more single white single mothers that are white than any other ethnic group in this country. Like you get what I'm saying? But
more of them.
But that's not what he said though. He said no, none of them are expected to be stepdads or ashamed for not wanting to be.
Yeah, the man.
I never seen no other race like, oh, you don't want to be no.
Yo, you gave that coochie up in India, you are banished.
Yeah, you gotta.
You act like they are sent to the shadow realm and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
lashes.
What was that shit? The scarlet letter? You gotta wear the scarlet letter on your clothing, man.
They gotta wear the chastity belt on that coochie. What you talking about?
Desmond Hunter said, I told my wife I take my hat off to her because she dated me having, I guess he meant 2 kids, but if the roles were reversed, we wouldn't be married. His name Jew. That's crazy.
But again, I always say it's different for men that have kids because they're not with the kids 24/7. Like, you know what I mean? So it's easier for a woman to come in and take that role on because she only has to deal with the kids for the most part on the weekends, maybe. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, you know, whereas a guy, I know for a fact your child is with you majority of the week. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I have to now playing around now. I have to now, like, you know what I mean? There's much more, there's much more there, I think, when it comes to men dating single mothers than
Desmond Hunter. I'm curious to hear what your wife got to say about that. I ain't gonna lie, man.
She probably know. She probably agree too. Men got different standards than women, bro. Like
that's true.
How many baby moms? Do you got 2 baby mamas, or is it just 1 baby mom? I need to know. Let us know, man. Like I'm saying.
Marriage, politics, and sports. Shout out to you again. He said the dude was dumb leading with the HVM mantra. HVM, high value man mantra. If you have standards, they should not be based solely on your money. That's true.
I don't know if he was saying he was a high value man because of his money.
Oh, his original statement was, "I've worked to make myself a high value man, and I'm not dating."
Okay, so I can understand why you said that. Yeah.
All right, that's the last super chat.
It's my shot right here. In case y'all.
Oh, that's a real one. Okay,
it's the same shot. It's just the glass is taller. Like
it's just the glass now. You know, I like you take it.
But at the time, I had them all the time. Oh, that's Desmond right there.
Okay. All right, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
and it's actually rare.
My boy. Shout out to Desmond for being green too. You heard? Shout out to that.
Yeah. Again, we got that. We had a way better live stream than shout out to homegirl Hiller, man, being a member, man.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, so we had a way better.
Howard, man. Shout out to Bar Howard too.
Shout out to the members, man. Again, the link is pinned. Join the membership, man. We honestly need all of the support we can get. We are trying to do a lot of big things behind the scenes. But again, we need all the support we can get. We know y'all been messing with us throughout the years. Y'all been watching us on the videos, y'all supporting the episodes, but we still need help. We ain't there yet. We ain't there quite yet. You know what I mean? But we working there, and we can only get there with y'all help. So, anything that helps, whether it's a like, a share on social media,
repost that drum.
Thanks. You know what I mean? Like anything helps us, honestly. Like, we appreciate it. New episode again dropping tomorrow. Make sure y'all tune in.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. on your way from work. On your way home from work, y'all could just tune.
That's a crazy time though, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. People on the highway, man. Come on,
play that on your way home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Play that your way.
Don't watch it. Don't watch. Just listen.
Oh yeah. You gotta listen. Yeah.
This is
right now. If you would have
11 felt like 11. Honestly, be feeling too early because either people waking up, people at work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people in the office job, how they gonna be secretly watching us on the computer?
Ain't nobody working at work. Come on.
I mean, yeah, it's true.
Do you guys work at work?
Listen.
I work hard, man. I work hard.
Yeah, we work hard. We work hard in these streets, man. So, you know what I mean? So
literally.
Yeah, man. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. We will be back. We might figure out the live streaming. We've been slacking. And we've been discouraged. I ain't gonna hold you. Last live stream. If y'all know, y'all know. You know what I mean? Got a little crazy. You know what I mean? So hopefully we don't gotta deal with that situation anymore. So
I want to shout out that dude. What's the dude that you sent the video of that was on trial for protecting himself when Shorty sent the dudes to
was it Travis?
Travis, the football player.
Yeah, the football player dude, yeah.
The football player, but shout out to him, man, because I don't even understand why he was on trial, man. That shit was crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a way to we supposed to do that this week. I know I slacked, you know what I mean? But yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a way to discuss that and really dive into that, man, because listen, I hear a lot of black women say, "Oh, black men don't protect us." You had 3 black men four of them, and one of them lost their life, protected a black woman who was clearly in the wrong. You know what I mean? So, I don't want to hear all this. Huh?
Wasn't it 2 of them?
No, it's four brothers.
No, I'm saying he ain't body 2 of them.
Nah, he one got oofed and the other one I got hit.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Yeah, so again, it looks like black men protecting black women, albeit, you know what I mean? And this don't get talked enough about, and I might have to make a compilation video just to, further prove it. But, a lot of black men have lost their lives protecting black women for foolishness, you know what I mean? For things that they initiated. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think that gets talked about enough. You know what I mean? And yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a live stream situation. Have y'all call in. have to filter y'all out because you know, I mean, mother effers, they trying to sabotage us over here. I ain't gonna with you, like, you know what I'm saying. So again, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all tune in for that episode.
Make sure y'all follow me on the gram, podcast_Jew. You know what I mean? And Ace.
Ace to go 24.
Yeah, show them some love, man. They got to get their followers up, man. I need them to get the 10K each.
I'm trying to get my blue check, man.
Yeah, I need them to get the 10K.
You gotta pay for that, my boy. But
I'm trying to get it without paying for it.
Without paying for it.
Without paying for it.
And send us some content. DM us some stuff that y'all want us to react to. Yeah. Also, follow the merch page, dailyrapupcrew.co. Pick up a shirt.
Yo, go check out that Umar episode. That's just, it's still ringing off. You know what I mean?
Okay. First of all, I'm not ending it until you take that shot, so you might as well get that ready. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Come on, bro. We gotta go.
I'm frozen.
Yeah, all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now you're a Disney princess. Like, yeah, like,
yeah, I ain't never been scared of no shot. You know what I mean?
Yo, you smart. You got the white liquor so you can put water in there and act like, you know what I'm saying? It's the casa. You smart.
It's straight out the bottle, man. Stop playing with me.
Yeah, you smart. You know what I mean? Like, yo, appreciate y'all for tuning in. We see y'all soon.